constitutes what makes a song a yacht rock song. And listen, I'm sure you guys take a little creative, little leeway when it comes to that, because as long as people are enjoying it, it all works.
Right. And we try not to go too far from it, but at the end of the day, we're not, we're a high energy rock and roll show. We always say like we want to be the Kiss of soft rock, RITH really.
Yeah.
But we're going to have lights and choreo and crowd interaction, and we're going to come out into the crowd and that kind of stuff. So it's not, even though it's a soft rock show, it's not a sit down and sip your tea type of show.
Yeah.
It's gonna be high energy, and so be prepared to, if you come out, be prepared to sing your heart out for 2 hours.
Okay, all right, good stuff. So, all right, well, listen, tomorrow night in Syracuse, it's at the On Center, and it's Yachtly Crew, your end of summer. All right, Tommy Bowie, thank you, man. We appreciate it.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thanks, all. Appreciate it.
By the way, the show is tonight in Syracuse. This is a good example. This is Christopher Cross. Stop talking when I'm talking, please. Clearly, Michael McDonald. Anyway, I don't want to blow us up on YouTube, which it did when we played it yesterday. Quick one here. A quick break. You could just hit that, couldn't you? And does that work? Yeah, that. No, that. Apparently it doesn't work, Davey. I don't know. Let me break, and we'll come back. Manansky in, and our special guest is in here today, who is telling us it may be his final
YouTube, by the way.
It may be his final day to make it in. We'll talk to him coming up. It is 6:23 at WIBX. Interview.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at lifelock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I don't know if you're going to that Yacht Rock show, but they are pretty good, I got to say. If you've seen them on YouTube, they're pretty good. The news yesterday came that the jurors came back, and Manansky, were you at all surprised? And it's funny because we had the reporter on from the Daily Sentinel, who said to us that he felt that there was one that was a key player in this, And then the other two, he felt were just doing their job and got caught up in the video. And they were trying to explain that, and he wasn't sure if the fact that they did not testify that they were able to get that point across. And at the end of the day, the jury saw it.
Yeah, I don't think it's common to have a split verdict here when you have three individuals charged with one crime or the commission of one crime, and one is found guilty and the others are, I guess, found not guilty. So, as you mentioned, two found not guilty. It's very interesting. I guess in the case of two out of the three, it was a good idea to not present a defense, to not testify or call witnesses.
It also does bring up the question, if you are one of those who have been charged with a lesser crime and involvement, and the advisement from your attorney was that you just take the deal that they're giving, and not really that it was a deal. It's you plead guilty, this is what you get. It can be much worse if you go to trial. I spoke with an attorney yesterday who said that he can only imagine what those people are thinking right now, and they have no recourse. They have pleaded guilty, and they have received their sentence. Is there a chance that they could have challenged this and gotten, because yesterday the two COs were let go. It's over for them.
Yeah, Matthew Gallagher and Nicholas Keefer.
Meanwhile, David Kingsley was found guilty of second-degree murder, guilty of first-degree manslaughter by the jury. So that'll be that would be interesting. And again, I don't know that they can go anywhere with that. And then the other part of this that I find interesting, and you're right. I think that to see one guilty and two not guilty is probably, I don't know for sure, but it's probably something that is rare. I also heard it's not necessarily all that common that three people are tried in one trial to begin with.
Right.
Mark Butler is in with us here this morning. Were you surprised by that verdict yesterday?
I was very surprised. I thought it was a done deal that they would all be found guilty. So,
I also, it's funny because we had asked the question, why would you risk it and take this? Because they were probably looking at 15 or 20 years or maybe 15 years, 10 years in prison if they pleaded guilty. And I guess that's the reason they were willing to take their shot, and it certainly paid off. The other thing I found that I think people have to be really, really careful is a lot of people are on the sidelines complaining, including the governor, who said she was disappointed by the verdict. Although she respects the jury. Well, which is it? Do you respect the jury, or are you disappointed by the verdict? Which is it? Because you were not in that courtroom. The governor was not in that courtroom, and it does not know the testimony that those jurors had to take very, very seriously. So I think I'm a believer that you rely on the jury, and although there are some that apparently don't believe that.
Bill, I haven't followed it as closely as I should have, but there seemed to be some indication that there was some video that kind of...
well, there was a lot of video.
A lot of video, but I thought somebody told them to turn off their videos that they have on them, the COs, or the sound.
I believe that was... At some point, they told them to turn it on, and we weren't in the courtroom either. So
yeah.
At some point, they had said to turn them on, and that would have meant that the video came on without audio, but that the audio still was recording even though the video was off.
Okay.
I believe is what I understood. But according to the attorney for one of those who were found to be not guilty, he said it was the video that was the evidence. They didn't need to testify.
Right.
It was the video that showed that they were, and what would happen is they were brought in to, for instance, put shackles on. Well, that's common practice, and it's their job. That's what they would do if they had an inmate who was out of control.
Well,
and without knowing all of what was going on, which they claim, which was going on, the beating, they were just doing their job, and the video made it look as if they were a part of it.
Well, oh, really? I thought the video vindicated them.
Some of the video made it look as if the stuff that we saw going in made it look like they were a part of it.
Well,
but when it was explained and the timeline was laid out, that became evidence instead of against them. It seems like it became evidence that was for them.
Well,
we'll know more when we speak with the reporter from the Sentinel, who was there for every step of the trial.
If they knew that video would show that, then I guess I can understand why they took it.
Why they took
to the
deal.
nth degree.
Well,
sure.
I think their
why
feeling,
they didn't take the deal.
Their feeling was that they were not guilty of beating and killing this guy.
Yeah.
But again, when you it's so easy to just take the things that we see and read in the news and just form our own conclusion, versus sitting in that courtroom day in and day out during that 2-week trial. So interesting. Anyway, the two, David Kingsley found guilty of second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter. He may spend the rest of his life in prison. And then Matthew Gallagher and Nicholas Keefer, as Manaske said, both acquitted on all charges when the jury announced their verdicts yesterday morning.
So I do find it interesting, though, that there was one victim here, the inmate who was beaten to death. How you could be found guilty of second-degree murder and manslaughter? Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. And we'll have the opportunity to find out when we speak with one of the attorneys as well coming up. Also want to tell you that yesterday's news with Mayor John Stevens became pretty big news, and I received a lot of phone calls regarding the interview yesterday, where the mayor said if there was a fire at Remington, if there was a fire, their fire company, their men and women of the Ilion Fire Department would not go in the building. They would use a ladder truck from outside to attempt to extinguish the fire, but they would not go in the building because it was a danger to the firefighters. We'll talk about that coming up. And what we learned also in speaking with John Pisak from the IDA in Herkimer County yesterday. We are in another day of the shutdown. That continues. And former disgraced Congressman George Santos is a free man now, according to, not according to, but because of, thanks to President Trump. Ryan Schmelz, Fox News Radio, on the line right now. He is no longer bound by the rules of the jail, rules of the prison. He's a free man.
No, he is not. He is free.
Yeah. So he was doing a little talking yesterday, I saw, and also it seems that he may be back on Cameo.
He is back on Cameo officially, and he's doing a couple of interviews. I actually was on Fox and Friends first, Fox and Friends Weekend Edition, and pretty much said he explained that he felt that it was an over prosecution. He says that he's found God since going to prison, and he didn't rule out another run for Congress, but didn't seem like he was curious to do it anytime soon.
Yeah, I wonder if he said if he found the truth, because that seemed to be something that he struggled with for quite some time.
We'll find that out, I guess, in the next coming couple years.
I guess we will.
As he's now a free man.
So President Trump asked about it, why he this is not a pardon, however, but why
commutation. Yeah,
right. President Trump was asked about that, and he felt that he got caught up in something and had done his time.
Yeah, and the thing that Democrats are latching on to, that's probably going to have to be, it's probably going to be used for the next couple of weeks, maybe the next couple of years, is that President Trump did say that he felt that George Santos was at least smart enough to vote Republican, and he brought up Richard Blumenthal and felt that Richard Blumenthal told some pretty extensive lies about his Vietnam service or his service in the military. And, you know, President Trump felt that because George Santos was misleading, that he was over prosecuted, and there have been others who've done worse that have gotten worse sentences. So
wait. Wasn't there, he stole people's identities?
Well,
he's a wire fraud, and misusing campaign funds for his own personal use. Yeah, no, I mean there's pretty extensive charges against Santos, no doubt about it. And you know, President Trump thinks otherwise, though. So this is the situation that we're in now.
Well, it's interesting that there's this outcry because when Biden pardoned how many people on his way out the door, there was hardly a whimper.
No, I thought it was pretty loud. I mean, he had to answer questions nonstop about his son.
I
think there was,
but he never even went
and he faced
trial.
He faced criticism from Democrats even. I mean, it was that was one of the things that kind of made people. I mean that was one of the last things he did, obviously, and he was out the door. The damage had already been done at the election, but you know, I think there's still a sour taste in some Democrats' mouths because of what happened with Hunter Biden.
Oh, I completely agree.
And there should be.
Yeah.
And Mark doesn't watch the news often, so he missed the interviews and the criticism.
It depresses me.
It was a rather big story, and the other big story was the commuting of the pardoning of all of those January 6th people. That I mean, I think that is a bigger story that also received a great deal of attention. But this Santos thing is quite interesting. I just can remember reporters chasing him down the hallway.
Oh man, yeah,
right.
That was the new Congress, and like, you know, it was my first Congress, like beginning from the beginning. You know, I came here when you know, towards the end of the Pelosi era, and I covered the midterm elections that year, and then, you know, it was this new Congress getting sworn in. It took us forever just to swear in a Speaker of the House.
Right.
And then you had this freshman member of Congress who was the biggest star already because of these accusations against him. And, I mean, it was every single day. You know, you would have just reporters waiting outside his office and just chasing him down the street. And, you know, he would bring them Chick-fil-A. He would like cater the press steakouts outside his office. And of course, we're all like, well, where's that money coming from? So, are we complacent? You know, so I mean, and that was the funny thing for me because, you know, we have limited resources. We can only do so much. And I'm like, you know, there's a lot of things happening in the world and in this Congress. Is my time going to be spent valuably staking outside a freshman member of Congress's office?
Yes.
And so those were the difficult decisions that we had to make, and we still do have to make sometimes.
Right, you have to make those judgment calls along the way. Interesting. All right, well, listen, it's done. What's done is done, as my mom would always say. Now go to your room. It would always end with that for some reason. I don't know why. Ryan, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. What's done is done. It's done.
Bill, what a sense of power you get when you get in front of this microphone. Shaping public opinion. It's just amazing.
How am I shaping? What did I shape? What did I uniquely shape here? I'm wondering.
I'm not sure, but I'm sure there was an anti-Republican sentiment in there somewhere.
All right. As long as we're going to go there, at least I knew what was going on in the news.
Ooh.
I mean, it does play a role. Let's end that right here. Okay. I have Lance, speaking of being critical. I guess.
Yes, Lance. Good morning.
I guess this Lance comment is from yesterday, and it involves Katie Aiello, and we're going to do more with that later today. Her video is out. Katie, you shut out for Mike, but you didn't.
You shut off her mic.
You shut off her mic, but you didn't shut off the mayor's mic. It was disgusting. Are you trying to imply that in that interview? Lance, listen. Do me. I would take your right hand and start massaging the back of your neck because it seems like you're losing it here. And I wanna. You should. If you don't have anyone around to soothe you, you need to soothe yourself because you are mixing up stories. That debate, if you will, if you remember when we had the mayor in,
I wasn't here for this, but this was about his part-time or his other job, right?
It was about all of it. She was complaining, and let's get to the bottom of it. We brought in both of them. They spent an hour in here.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, the one who walked out angry was not Katie. It was the mayor. Katie shook my hand. She thanked me for the interview. I tried my best to keep it as fair as possible. And if I were to score a debate, I would say that she probably won pretty handily. I don't know what you're talking about, that I dissed her in some way. I think when she's complaining about the mic being turned off was on another issue when she came on several weeks later. But it was not during that debate between her and the mayor. I thought that went really well in her favor. She was able to say everything she wanted to against the mayor. Right?
And that's because you tilted it that way, correct?
I tilted it. I was a tilter.
Yep.
Yeah, I was, as Mark Butler says.
There you go.
I'm like, wait a minute. Whoa. Which one of you is a Democrat? Let me make sure I can make this work out a little better for you.
By the way, Bill, how did you enjoy the No Kings rally the other day?
Well, I was most shocked when I saw you there in a duck costume, walking around. I mean, being the height you are.
I didn't think you'd recognize me.
Being the height you are, you stood out in the crowd. It was something. All right, let me move on from this. The Katie Aiello thing we will get into. There's a new video out, I'm told.
A new one?
Well, new as of yesterday.
New and new.
Yeah.
And Who knew?
Who knew there'd be a new video out? Well, there was, and we'll play a little bit of it and go from piece to piece. It's interesting how she even referred to, in the first video that I saw, she referred to the fact that what they will do. Let me explain to you what they do in Utica politics. They make it. They tell everybody you're playing the victim card. When I got to tell you, through that whole video, she was doing nothing but playing the victim card. I mean, come on, Katie. Please.
Oh, I thought you would made up with her, but I guess not now.
Well, I think we've always been very fair to her, and that one interview was certainly a difficult one, and I think it might have been about the alleyway. I even forget what it was. It was about.
Cleaning
you were
up
here
that
for
alley.
that.
Yeah, I was,
and that was a little on the heated side.
It was.
Yeah, but the one with her and Mayor Galimi, I thought was really. Kind of, she handled it very well and put the mayor in a kind of a tough position where he didn't want to be. In fact, didn't want to be a part of that interview. Does that make any sense?
Yes, because I listened to it as well, and I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought she got the better of him in that conversation, and I thought he sounded very uncomfortable talking about the other job. Which, by the way, I'm not saying or arguing that he can't have other employment or he can't do what he was doing, the consulting, whatever. I'm just saying, if you listen to it, he didn't sound comfortable talking about it.
He did not. And to say that we gave her the short end of the stick is ridiculous, Lance. I'm just saying. And then the deal yesterday, the mayor of Ilion saying that if, God forbid, there was a fire at the enormous, you're talking how many blocks of property that is. If there was to be a fire there, that the village fire department would not go inside the building. I thought that was pretty big news.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've kind of heard of situations like this before. I want to say at some point there was a similar situation in the city of Utica with an abandoned...
It might have been Charlestown.
It might have been Charlestown, yeah. I can kind of understand that. Do you think that's a bad policy?
I think it is going to make. Mark is Herkimer County, so my guess is it's going to create some friction with people like John Piesick.
I think it already has, from what I'm understanding.
That seems to be
the little bit of news I listen to. Yes,
and the little bit, the very teeny weeny little bit. But the what it could cause is trouble with the new owners. Apparently, the new owners are in place, and that is a woman-owned business, Turin Management. They had an offer in at the turn of the year, right around New Year's last year, and they were doing the due diligence. PSIC has confirmed that they do now own that building, and they have plans for the building, but we don't necessarily know what those plans are as of yet. I'm not sure that they have finalized their plans on what will be done with the building. It's 32 acres, 1.1 million square feet, building that is really has decades and decades of history in manufacturing. But the mayor's saying he has not spoken to anyone of the new ownership, doesn't know what their plans are. I may have used the word ambiguous with a question mark, and he confirmed that and said he felt that was a good way to describe it. And as a Herkimer member of Herkimer County and politics and government, Mayor Butler, I think everybody's kind of wondering what is going to happen there.
Well, we had a forum on economic development in Herkimer County several weeks ago, and I asked that very question. She got up and spoke very well about her background and this and that, but in very broad terms that we're going to develop plans. So there was no real direction that I got out of it.
Yeah,
maybe somebody else did, but I don't know. I don't know any more than apparently the mayor does. But
well, then yesterday I did hear from John Stevens. From John Pisak from the IDA, and where this could cause difficulty is when it comes to an insurance company. So if you're the owners of this building and you've insured it just in case, and now to find out that the fire department will basically fight from outside, fight that fire, but would not go inside to fight the fire, I do wonder if that poses a problem for them in terms of insurance.
But I will say, and you brought it up, I'm sure inside that building there are toxins and chemicals and things. It could be a danger. So
if there was, God forbid, a fire there, it would probably be quite a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and in addition to that, something the mayor pointed out, and again, I'm no expert on this, but I could see in my mind this makes sense, that much of the equipment was removed from there, from the Remington facility. So if you're on a second floor or a third floor and you're walking and there used to be a huge machine there.
That went which could have gone, spanned over 2 floors.
Right, and
so
now there's a huge hole.
Yeah.
Right, and if it's the middle of the night and you're fighting a fire and maybe you got to turn off the electric in there, right, and you can't see what that there's a huge hole in the floor. And also I think he mentioned rods coming up
metal
to the floor.
rods.
Mm-hmm. Like, could you imagine a firefighter falling in through a hole and then landing
on a rod,
being impaled?
It
does seem like there is a real legitimate concern, especially if the fire were to be at night and there were no power or electricity in those buildings.
Well, I'm really looking forward to getting the new owners on and hear what their plans are for. I mean, certainly everybody is hoping that whatever the plan is, that it's an incredible one and it does really well, and it's the next 2 centuries going forward for the village of Ilion. That would be what we would all hope for.
Absolutely.
But I'm not sure everybody's on the same page right now. And we'll be speaking to all of them as we move forward. I don't know if you heard this story. Kohler, which makes bathroom
faucets and stuff.
Faucets, they make toilets as well. Kohler has just debuted a new $600 toilet camera that watches you go.
Okay.
Well, there's a reason. They analyze the results to track your health. I'm noticing the silence. Nobody seems to be. I mean, there's going to be some deviant that's going to try to use this in a
hack into the system.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know if that's
it's not for you.
Not for you. Interestingly, I remember back during the days of COVID, stories coming out of, and I guess they did this widely, but Syracuse
This
University.
was just recently done and discovering in New York State measles.
And they would
Measles
say-
was just discovered through
sewage samples,
sewage.
right?
Yeah.
So I guess so, but that doesn't, I don't think you need a camera for that. You need something that tests the samples, not something that examines them with a camera.
Well, not necessarily. I hate to get into this conversation, but Mr. Butler can.
Well, you brought it up, Bill.
Yes,
I did.
I will help you.
I did bring it up.
You know, and earlier when we talked about the COs, we talked about video and audio. If they put audio on me in the bathroom, that would answer all their questions.
Okay.
I don't think
where
they
I'm
need
going,
video.
where I'm going with this is, if you've been through any type of digestive issue in your life, I have colon cancer.
Yeah.
So you are instructed by your physician to monitor things, and a visual is very important. Without getting disgusting in here,
okay,
a visual is extremely important, and it doesn't just mean. It could mean, the visual is important, and you can look it up. It'll tell you if you see this, you might be having this problem. If you see this, this problem could be occurring. If you see this, everything's A-okay.
Yeah, but I don't know what a video would show you that you can't see yourself through
That's
your
a very
own
good point.
eyes. Yeah,
Here is-
I don't know what that would add to the.
They've even put out a commercial, so no need for us to debate this. It'll all depend on, will anyone buy it? It's $600. Here's the audio.
Introducing Dakota by Kohler Health. Dakota translates your body's signals into real-time insights, helping you decode your body's cues. Dakota uses advanced spectroscopy sensors to seamlessly analyze what your body leaves behind. Its sleek, self-clamping design blends seamlessly into any bathroom. Paired with the Kohler Health app, Dakota delivers personalized health scores to help build lasting, healthy habits. It's everything your body's been trying to tell you, decoded.
Most people would be able to probably figure it out for themselves, but maybe there's someone suffering from dementia or something like that needs to be monitored. This could have a use.
I thought the advertisement very cleverly and eloquently said it's what your body leaves behind.
Yes.
Secondarily, though, can you imagine, though, you have like a cookout in the summer, and then you know, it's like the cousins are in town.
Do we have to go here?
And then you follow up in Thanksgiving and say, hey, Bill, I wanted to let you know, you had the highest score in our toilet that we've ever had.
I would assume
you
this
are the picture of health.
I would assume this would be a toilet that you would not want everyone to use. It would maybe be your own personal. I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, that's kind of an interesting product out there.
And in 25 years, if this blows up, no pun intended, and people are listening back to this conversation, they go, that Manaski's an idiot. Can you believe he didn't want his stool?
Yeah, I mean, his
stool videoed so that he could get a health diagnosis?
Everybody's healthy because of this. Today is National Back to the Future Day, if you care. A movie that I guess I've seen out there playing a little more often than not. Not sure. Maybe I'm just landing on it. It's coincidental. Here is a Kentucky man named Daryl Burnett. He's accused of shooting and killing his brother, whose name is also Daryl. One is only in Kentucky. His brother's name also is Daryl. One is spelled with E-L. The other is spelled with Y-L at the end. And he is now accused of killing his brother with the Y. The brother with the Y is the one that was killed.
Hi, I'm Larry. This is my brother Daryl. That's my other brother Daryl.
Okay. Really, really true. Do you
What was
care?
the motive?
We don't know the motive. We really don't know anything about it. And it very well could have been all about the question, why? That's the letter difference in the name. Right?
I get it.
And then which airline do you think is the most hated? Did you do any airline? You did some airline travel.
We did all American Airlines, and I have to say everything was on time. The luggage arrived. It was
Okay.
perfect.
Are you ready?
Yep.
A new study has found the most hated airline in America is American. Followed by Frontier and then United, according to... This is done by, apparently, I would assume...
United.
Ratings. It may be done by United. Ratings and that sort of thing, reviews. But yes, they're saying, despite Mark's love of American, it is ranked the most hated.
I do wonder the standards.
We'll get into it. Hold on. I got a break here, according to Davey. We have news next.
History shows that every market eventually falls, every currency collapses, and today the U.S. dollar is hanging by a thread. Trillions in national debt, record high markets defying gravity, but stocks can't go up forever. Meanwhile, your groceries, housing, and transportation costs are all going up, and your dollar, it's buying less every single day. If the system breaks, your stocks and dollars won't save you, but one thing will: gold. Gold has always survived a collapse. That's why banks and billionaires are stocking up, and Americans are protecting their savings with physical gold. Before the next shoe drops, call Lear Capital at 800-957-GOLD for your free gold investment kit and $20,000 in bonus gold with a qualified purchase. Lear is your trusted source. Over $3 billion in transactions, thousands of reviews. Call now, 800-957-GOLD. That's 800-957-GOLD.
We are here with Tom Giglio from Script Stop Pharmacy, Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, our industry ace. What sets you apart from other pharmacies?
Script Stop Pharmacy, 131 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, New York. We're changing the game. We're a locally owned pharmacy, and we'll treat you like family. With fast, friendly service, no-wait immunizations, and automatic refills, we ensure that you never miss a dose. Pick up the phone and give us a call at 315-790-5300, and you won't have to sit on hold with an automated answering system. You'll be able to actually reach out to a person. You won't have to wait in a long line only to find out that your prescription isn't ready or is not in stock. We offer a wide range of services, including text message alerts when your prescriptions are ready. We have an app that you can manage your medications in, and we offer free delivery across all of Oneida County. And with 75 years of combined pharmacist experience, we're here to serve you quickly, reliably, and with a smile. Need a script, make the stop, or just call Script Stop.
This month, Pure Talk is supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat vets struggling with PTSD. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. Sure, I like the unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and you will too. But you will love being in business with a company that shares your values. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Whatever you need to haul, landscaping tools, heavy construction gear, or even livestock, Clinton Tractor has the trailer for the job. Choose steel, aluminum, or galvanized frames from 500 pounds to 55 tons with trusted names like B-Wise, Eager Beaver, and EB. For trailers, parts, and service you can count on, visit the Caledona family at Clinton Tractor.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
ClintonTractor.net.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
Trying to keep the ceasefire in Gaza in place. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's Vice President Vance's goal, arriving in Israel a short time ago for talks following a flare-up of fighting over the weekend, and Hamas is still yet to turn over 15 dead hostages, but Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv reports one more has been returned.
The body of one additional hostage was transferred to Israeli forces within the enclave, and it will soon be identified. So many families still waiting for answers in the aftermath of this ceasefire that was broken by Hamas over the weekend when they killed 2 Israeli soldiers.
Israel retaliated with strikes targeting Hamas and also left dozens of Palestinians dead. A mass shooting might have been averted at Atlanta's airport. Fox's Todd Pyro has details.
Officers say they were tipped off by the family of 49-year-old Billy Cagle, a convicted felon with quote-unquote mental challenges. The family telling police that he said on a social media live stream that he intended to shoot up the airport and he had access to a firearm. Cagle was seen arriving at the airport in a white pickup truck and was waiting inside the Delta Airlines terminal for about 20 minutes.
That's when he was arrested. A loaded semi-automatic rifle said to be found in his truck. For a 21st day, the government shut down with no end to the stalemate over funding, so most federal employees aren't working. Those deemed essential are, but without checks.
President Trump is expected to thank Republicans today for staying united in the shutdown fight. They've been trying to squeeze Democrats. Now, Senate Majority Leader John Thune says he wants to vote on a bill to pay essential workers, and he's daring Democrats to vote against it.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. Baseball's World Series is set. George Springer's home run led Toronto to the American League pennant, giving the Blue Jays a lead they held on to beat the Seattle Mariners 4-3 in a Game 7 on Fox. Toronto will next play the defending champion LA Dodgers. The World Series starts Friday. America's listening to Fox News.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Guys, fall is here, and so are the all-new styles from Untuck It. We make the world's best untucked shirts, and this season's new arrivals are some of our best yet. From soft brushed flannels to easy wrinkle-free cotton, every shirt is designed to keep you sharp and comfortable, whether you're layering up for work, weekends, or nights out. Special discounts for first-time customers, so shop now. Get the new arrivals today at untuckit.com and more than 80 stores. Untuck It, shirts designed to be worn, untucked.
Weeks after James Comey, the FBI director that President Trump fired in his first term, was indicted, accused of lying to Congress. He's trying to get the case dismissed, alleging he's a Trump political target.
Comey, in a pair of court filings, called for the Justice Department's indictments against him to be thrown out. Lawyers for the ex-FBI director argue the charges of making false statements and obstruction of justice are a vindictive and selective prosecution that violates the Constitution's First Amendment. It's also called by the defense a fatally flawed prosecution, alleging the U.S. Attorney for Virginia's Eastern District, Lindsay Halligan, was improperly appointed. No definitive timeline has been given for a ruling on these motions. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
And today, Congresswoman LaMonica McIver will try to get assault charges dropped, stemming from her confrontation the Democrat had with immigration agents at a New Jersey detention facility. We have an update on former President Biden's cancer battle. He's finished radiation.
Joe Biden rang the bell at Penn Medicine Radiation Oncology in Philadelphia, a tradition when patients hit a major treatment milestone. The former president's being treated for an aggressive form of prostate cancer that spread to bone, a 9 on what's called the Gleason score, ranging from 6 to 10. His office announced the diagnosis in May. It has not said what any next treatment steps might be. Biden had surgery last month to remove skin cancer lesions from his forehead. He's scheduled to speak in Boston Sunday, receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Edward M. Kennedy Institute. Chris Foster, Fox News.
On Wall Street, futures are falling, but not by much. The day after a big stock market surge, the Dow rose more than 500 points. On Monday Night Football, 2 games to close out Week 7.
Running behind a heavy formation and just walking into the end zone.
Zach Charbonnet scored 2 touchdowns, led Seattle past Houston 27-19 on ESPN after the Detroit Lions beat Tampa Bay 24-9. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Mostly clear skies, 43 degrees. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. After several days of deliberations, jurors reached a split verdict in the murder trial of 3 former correctional officers at Marcy Correctional Facility. The panel decided to convict David Kingsley for his role in the beating death of inmate Robert Brooks last December, but they found his 2 co-defendants, Matthew Gallagher and Nicholas Kiefer, not guilty on the charges they were facing. Kingsley could be ordered to serve 25 years to life in prison when he's sentenced in December. Meanwhile, in Syracuse, a man accused of carrying out a double homicide is being offered a plea deal. Authorities allege David Huff killed his son, 11-year-old Jeremiah, and his girlfriend, 42-year-old Uraldis Schutte, inside his stepfather's home back in March. Prosecutors say if he pleads guilty to 2 counts of murder, he'll face 40 years to life in prison. He's due to return to court next month. If convicted at trial, he could face life without the possibility of parole. Still no government deal as the shutdown continues. The Senate voting 50-43 on Monday against a House-passed resolution to reopen the government, making it the 11th failed attempt. Today marks 3 weeks into the shutdown. And former NFL running back Doug Martin has died in police custody. The Oakland Police Department saying that the 36-year-old Martin was involved in a break-in inside of a home there. They say he struggled with officers who were trying to detain him. He became unresponsive after being taken into custody. We have clear skies and 43 degrees. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:07. Your Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net.
Still unsettled for a couple of days with the chilly air continuing to get reinforced here with another front coming in tonight. Maybe a few afternoon showers today. After some morning sunshine, high 65. Tonight, 45. North Country a little cooler with a few showers around. Wednesday, scattered showers and chilly upper 50s. Thursday, a chance of showers with highs in the mid-50s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stitch at WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
In sports, the Toronto Blue Jays are headed to the World Series. They advanced to the Fall Classic, rallying for a 4-3 win over the Mariners in Game 7 last night. It was George Springer with a go-ahead home run in the bottom of the 7th, a 3-run shot for Seattle. Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh each homered in defeat. The Blue Jays will now take on the LA Dodgers in the World Series. Game 1 is coming up on Friday in Toronto. Week 7 of the NFL season wrapped up with a doubleheader last night. Jahmyr Gibbs, 218 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Lions took down the Buccaneers 24-9 in Detroit. In the late game, the Seahawks held off the Houston Texans 27-19. Week 8 of the NFL season begins on Thursday night with the Vikings visiting the Chargers. Well, the Buccaneers will be without a major piece of their offense for most of the rest of this season. In last night's game, Mike Evans suffered a broken collarbone. The receiver got hurt landing awkwardly on a deep pass. He also suffered a concussion on the play. NBA preseason, the Knicks have locked up their lone draft pick before the start of the regular season. They signed rookie Mohamed Diawara to a 1-year standard contract on Monday. The Knicks open the year tomorrow when they visit the Cleveland Cavaliers at MSG. And the New York Giants say they won't be making any adjustments to the coaching staff after that disaster in Denver over the weekend. Head coach Brian Daboll saying Monday he's not considering changes to the staff after the Giants allowed 33 fourth-quarter points in a 33-32 loss to the Broncos. WIBX 950 AM 92.3
Still feeling the pain on that, aren't you?
Yeah, it's disgusting, man. That is unbelievable.
Well,
It's 7:09.
listen, as a Bills fan, we've been through heartbreaking losses like that. And also the Bills have been on the side of comeback, right? I mean, if you're the Baltimore Orioles, what are you saying this year? But this has been a crazy year in the NFL, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. It seems like they're all a little bit wild and crazy. Was it the Steelers? Who did they play? Where they had the dramatic comeback? Oh, that was the Bengals game against Flacco. That was last Thursday night.
Yeah.
There've been some interesting games. You can't turn these games off. I mean, it all began
yeah.
really with the Bills in Week 1, that game against the Ravens.
What time did the second game start last night, Davey?
10 o'clock, I think.
Oh, it was 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Because I woke up at like 1:15. I went to bed early last night. Woke up at like 1:15, and the game was in the fourth quarter. It was still going on.
Yeah, it was in Seattle. It was in Seattle, so
for them it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, it was like a 7 o'clock start out there.
Okay. I want to tell you about Insera's Flooring Outlet. If you're looking for flooring, something solid to walk on, right, Mark? You always have to make sure what you're walking on.
That's exactly right.
Is solid and pristine, and you'll find it at Insera's Flooring Outlet, where at Insera's they have the best flooring. That's all they do is flooring. So you'd expect they know flooring, whether it's the install or preparation. How much do you need to buy? They'll come in and do the measurement for you free of charge to prep your purchase of flooring. But it's all different types of flooring, everything from carpeting to hardwoods and everything in between. And there is the price guarantee. They will meet or beat anyone's price. All you have to do is come in, and as we say, they'll meet or beat anybody else's price. And, of course, add in Sarah's, there's 6 months interest-free financing. In Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, or in sarahsflooringoutlet.com. We will get into this. I know it's an unsavory topic, but it is in the news, as Keeler has announced they are coming up with a new device for your commode. It just so happens we will be talking to Dr. Hall, and we can officially ask, what would they be thinking? And as Wayne says, there's going to be some deviants out there that this foot is going to end up on the internet. But I'm assuming this is something you would not have on a community in a community bathroom, like your powder room that you have that maybe other people utilize. It may be something more private. But why is something like this even needed? And we'll talk to Dr. Hall about that. Sorry, Doc. About that topic coming up. Then WIBX's free money question of the day. Davey, this morning, it is worth $200. And we'll do that at 7:35. Give you a chance to win from WIBX and WIBX. And there's a public hearing for the Route 69 and Main Street Bridge replacements in Whitestown. We know there's a public hearing that's going to be happening over at Exit 31. Is that what the Utica exit is?
Yes.
And that's coming up on Thursday. So there is a lot going on. Heather Tehan is the public information officer for the Department of Transportation. She's coming up a little later on. If you have a question about a certain roadway issue, she most likely will be able to either look into it or give you the answer.
And the public hearing is on Thursday also for the Route 69 Whitestown, what you're going to be talking about at the Whitestown Community Center.
Okay, so this will be the Whitestown Community Center. The one for 31.
It's Thursday also.
Is going to be at the
North Utica
Community Center. So there you have two to deal with, depending on what hits you most.
And plus, they're doing paving over in the intersection in 12 that she wants to talk about.
Okay. We'll get to her coming up in a little bit, and WIBX's free money question of the day. We'll get all that stuff going. And Mark Butler has something very pressing to get into.
I do indeed, Bill.
But stand by. We'll break, and then you can do it. See, this is what the referees do, I swear to God, in the NFL. The minute you start to get some momentum going, they're like, whoa.
TV timeout.
Yeah, sorry. It looked like, this is we were planning this. I'm sorry if you think we've interrupted your flow. Hold on. We'll come right back at WIBX.
Are your windows old and tired? Hard to put up and down? Builder's grade windows just aren't made to last very long. Patriot Home Solutions is a different kind of window company. No games or gimmicks. No long, drawn-out sales presentations, just high-quality, custom-fit windows at reasonable prices made right here in New York. And right now, you can get up to $2,000 off new windows from Patriot and NYSERDA, plus 0% interest for 18 months. Most homeowners qualify for the savings, and income is not one of the requirements. So write this number down, 315-401-0440. That's 401-0440. Patriot Home Solutions will tell you right over the phone if you qualify. Don't miss your chance to save up to $2,000 on new windows. Funds are limited, so call before they run out. Learn more at callpatriothomesolutions.com. That's callpatriothomesolutions.com.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Take advantage of Mattress Express's guaranteed lowest price program. Bring in any locally advertised price on a mattress we carry, and we will beat the price. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
This Halloween season, beware scary high prices. Head to Steve Ponte Chevrolet in Herkimer for spectacular savings. Looking for a reliable ride that won't drain your wallet? Their Car Bravo certified pre-owned vehicles are perfect for autumn adventures, from pumpkin patch visits to those ghostly late-night drives. Every Car Bravo vehicle comes with a certified warranty and low financing options. Right now, qualified buyers can lock into frightfully low rates starting at just 3.9% for 36 months on Chevy models like Blazer, Bolt, Equinox, Malibu, Trailblazer, and Trax. Plus, Steve Ponte Chevy is proud to offer a $250 incentive for all active, reserved, or retired military members. It's their way of saying thank you for your service. Hurry, these hauntingly good deals vanish after October 31st, so creep or crawl into Steve Ponte Chevy in Herkimer or online at stevepontechevy.com. Steve Ponte Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. All taxes and fees additional. Customer must qualify for top-tier credit through GM Financial. See salesperson for complete details.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Hey, this is Bill Keeler. Join us this Wednesday from 6 till 9 at the Upstate Verona Cancer Center for a live broadcast with the Upstate Mammo Van on site offering screenings for breast cancer. You can also make an appointment for colonoscopies. Schedule breast cancer screening by calling 315-464-2588. It's this Wednesday on the air from 6 till 9 with the Mammo Van on site from 10 till 4 at Upstate Cancer Center with Keeler in the morning and WIBX 950, 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, as we celebrate 100 years, you know it's coming up. It's creeping up on us. The 100th, absolute 100th anniversary is December 5, the 5th of December, 1925. The radio station signed on.
How well I remember that day.
You do. I knew you would. I knew. It was an exciting day, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. Wow, they've got one of those newfangled things here in Utica. It's called a radio station.
I do remember when KTV went on the air watching that.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow. What year was that? Had to be 50-something, right?
Mid-50s sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I wasn't around for that, but that had to be very exciting.
It was.
Now, you probably didn't have a TV, though.
Yes, we did.
Oh, you did?
We did.
So I see. So you maybe were picking up something from Syracuse or from Albany, but there was nothing in Utica.
I was 2 years old. I don't remember.
Well, you just told me you remember.
Yeah, well, I remember being in front of the TV and saying, and here we're on the air. And
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
He remembers where he was when Kennedy got shot.
Well, that you must remember.
9/11.
Not Lincoln, though.
And when
Not
KTV
Lincoln.
went on the air.
That's right. I do remember when, around the era when UTR went on the air. That was I think that was like 1970 or 68, 69, 70.
Well, maybe that's what I remember.
That might be what you remember.
Well, then you don't remember it that well.
Because when KTV, I'm pretty sure when KTV went on, they may have been ABC, CBS, and NBC during the 60s. If I recall correctly. I don't recall because I wasn't there for it, but I seem to remember somebody saying that.
When I was in the legislature, I had these guys from downstate New York City convinced that we only had black and white TV up where I live in the country.
Yeah, and dirt floors.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the brothers with twin names.
Yes, Daryl and Daryl.
Yeah.
You want to give us an update on the elementary school in Newport?
Well, I do, but first of all, I heard you say some very nice things about Katie Aiello. So in that spirit, many people criticize National Grid, and we had a little minor catastrophe in Newport on Sunday.
Okay.
We had a tree limb come down on a power pole, took off the top half. Of course, the wires came with it and pulled down wires around it. So we had a real mess. That was about 2:30 in the afternoon.
On Sunday?
On Sunday.
Yeah.
And by 7:30 at night, we had power restored. So I got to give a lot of credit to them, as I have to give to our local fire department.
Nice.
But In Little Newport, that was a big deal.
Well, we kind of forget about those things, but those men and in some cases women are on call all the time.
Yes.
On the weekends, and when there's a storm, we're all shoveling out, but they are just beginning their efforts to try to get people's power restored. So it is a big deal.
Commend the fire department and our DPW. They got that cleaned up very quickly.
And I think most of the criticism comes of the company and its prices, not necessarily the people that are up on the power lines. Although there are some, I know. I heard it the other day. It's like, why do you have 10 people out there when you're doing one thing?
We do have a few power outages up our way.
Okay.
More than I think is
in
required. But
okay, all right, okay.
But in this case, I commend them for a good job.
All right.
And as far as the elementary school, it's all on the ground now. They'll be hauling it away.
So it's down.
Next week, it's down.
How do they do that with a wrecking ball or
no? They just had this large tracked vehicle with an arm on it, and they just banged it, and it was amazing to watch. Walls fall over. It was. They didn't really. They started in earnest on Tuesday afternoon. It was essentially down by Friday.
Wow, pretty wild.
Yeah.
Let me bring in Dr. Kent Hall. Doc has been with us since the start of COVID, walking us through all sorts of interesting things, COVID and otherwise. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Doing well, and I would warn you the topic is quite a topic today.
Okay.
Well, and it came up, and it is. I just have to say, it is for me. It has been something that is second nature. Well, it is absolutely second nature.
Yes.
Might be first nature. Did you see that Keeler, the toilet and sink company, has made a camera that will use artificial intelligence to analyze what the human leaves behind in regards of analyzing their health? Did you see this?
Yes, I did see that.
So I do think some people didn't feel it was the right topic, but it is a topic.
Bill does seem to be obsessed with it. I don't know.
How about that Sunday morning telemed visit for you, Doc? What do you think?
Yeah. So
look at this.
What do you now? I got to tell you, being in the world of colon cancer, et cetera, you are advised to keep an eye on things. As really anybody is if they are having some sort of a health issue. And I would rather it come from you than from me, because you can handle it far more eloquently than I can.
Yeah, so I would say, first of all, I am not an expert on this because, what I've learned is really, what's available through the media. But to your point, screening for cancer, and in this instance, is really about colon cancer and other health-related issues, whether it's
could be liver, it could be a lot of different things. Yeah.
So there are things that your stool can tell us about your health. That is absolutely true. And in my reading of what they're talking about and what this thing does, it uses technology that actually is used in medical labs to analyze components of the stool and to see if there is any kind of a spike in something that shouldn't be there, i.e. blood, things like that. Now, and that to me sounds like it's a good thing. I also know that, people are, squeamish about, having to, get a specimen of their stool to send it into the lab or something like that. And so this, I don't know how good this technology is. I don't know how much. It doesn't sound like it would replace that necessarily, but it may be like an initial screening type of thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so that it could give you you should really be concerned about this, and you should have a conversation with your doctor. I think that if that's the way that they're going, I think that can be a real benefit, especially for people that are otherwise like, I'm not really interested in reaching into the toilet or putting a hat in the toilet or something like that. So, but in terms of its, real capabilities, I'm not sure because there's not a lot out there, and obviously I don't have, access to patents and things
we
like
don't
that.
know. They don't. But at the end of the day, it could be especially if there's somebody who someone with dementia or something like that, where it's someone else is monitoring their well-being, I assume. But this seems to be more of a specialty item that you might be getting through your doctor than something that you're just going to go to the store and be like, I'm checking this out.
You don't think it'd make a great Christmas present?
I don't think so. I don't necessarily think so. And then, Doc, are you done with this topic? Anything you want to add?
I'm good.
Yeah. Listen, technology is really something these days, it seems. And even with technology, when I've used with AI and they say it's not always correct, it is usually pretty good when you input information that you're trying to decipher. It's usually pretty good with that versus going out on the web and finding out something. But you get your blood work done and scanning that and putting it into ChatGPT and saying, what does this mean? It actually does a pretty good job explaining things that maybe your physician did not explain.
So I offer a cautious caution.
Well, it can make
that.
mistakes. Yes.
Well, no, it isn't so much that it makes mistakes, but it can give you information that is factually accurate, but doesn't allow for the give and take that a conversation with a healthcare provider to understand what that means for you. So I can tell you from working in the emergency department for almost half a century that there are times when a lab test comes back and it is just outside the range of normal, but really is not anything to be concerned about. Given the overall health of the person. And yet, if you put that into an AI, whether it's ChatGPT or whatever, and what they would say is, well, this lab test could mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
And one of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s could be cancer or could be whatever. Then all of a sudden everybody's like, oh my God,
it's scaring people.
Telling me that I've got cancer, and so I offer caution to doing that kind of thing, because the reality is that nowadays when we do panels, where we can do sometimes 20, 25 blood tests in a single blood draw, given the fact that the normal range, that 95% percentile ranking means that if you're in this range, then you are normal, and that's 95%. That means that 5% of normal people are outside of that range. And if I do 20 tests, one of those is going to be outside of that range. That's just a statistical reality. And so, I offer a degree of caution for people who are doing that. I'm not saying necessarily don't do it, but don't get stuck on that and what ChatGPT or whatever is going to tell you about it. Yes, it will be accurate, because what it's doing is it's basically taking data that it's mined from the internet, and it is saying, well, this is what
these words mean.
The internet are saying. And when you're talking about things, these factual things, that to me is more likely to have a degree of accuracy than if you're talking about something subjective.
I will say that some of the blood the blood draw places, wherever you use to give blood, some of them, if you look at your chart online, the portal, it will explain things. It never used to do that, but some of them will actually explain what this could mean. And, it can be helpful, but you're right. It could also scare the daylights out of somebody. Yeah. And then one final quickie. It is now we're definitely into that time where people should be considering depending on what their doctor says, or depending on their health, the flu shot, the potentially the COVID shot, and everything else that is out there. We're coming into that season all of a sudden.
Oh no, we're coming into it, and we're here actually. So I can tell you that the numbers of people coming to the emergency department with respiratory infections is going up. This time of year, it uniformly does in the northern hemisphere, and so to protect yourself and to protect the people that you interact with, whether they're your loved ones or your coworkers or whoever, getting a flu shot, getting a COVID vaccine, very, very important to continue to stay healthy. That being said, I know that there are still issues about, is insurance going to pay, especially for COVID shots for certain people, and that's why talking to your healthcare provider, your doctor, your nurse practitioner, whoever that is, and making sure that it is right for you and that the paperwork is done properly, because it's not whether you can get the injection or not, it is whether the insurance company is going to pay for it.
And I do think in New York State, in New York State, it has been, I believe in New York State, it is paid for.
I believe it is. Insurance is done. Healthcare insurance is done really on a state-to-state basis.
Yeah.
And so, and I believe that the administration here has said that they will continue to have regulations that require insurance companies to pay for it as part of routine health.
All right, Doc. As always, we appreciate it. Touchy topic today, but it's worth getting into, I guess.
No, again, screening for cancer is hugely important, and if this thing does that and does it in a way that people are more likely to have that screening done, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I would, and it's accurate, then that's fantastic.
Doc, as always, we appreciate it. Have a great week, and we'll talk again soon. I do think I might have lost him there. I don't know what occurred there. Nonetheless, tomorrow we'll be live out at the Upstate. It is the Verona Cancer Center, which is Route 31 and 365. We'll be out there tomorrow from 6 a.m. until 9 a.m., and they'll have the mammo van there. You can also sign up for colon screening and other things as well. They offer a whole variety of things. So if you want to sign up for other things or make an appointment, you'll be able to do so there as well. We'll be on hand tomorrow morning from 6 until 9. And we'll thank Ann in Rome, who really put all of this together. She wanted to put together an event on the radio that would get people in and be screened. Early detection certainly can save lives. That's a big deal. And Ann in Rome is going through her own battle right now. But the reports are she's doing well, right?
Yes, I believe she said no new cancer. So
that's a good thing. Coming up, we'll do Habaika's free money question of the day. We'll start with Manaski's update on the news. Then Heather Tehan is in from the DOT. You get an update on what's going on out there. If you have a question, feel free. 315-736-0186.
Mattress Express's free adjustable base promotion is on. Come on, pick out any king or queen set in the store except Tempur-Pedic and get upgraded to an adjustable base at no extra charge. You heard me right. And we have no credit check payment plans.
Some firsts you'd like to leave in the rearview mirror. Other firsts are life-changing. Nokian Tires invented the first all-weather tire 25 years ago to serve as a true year-round driving solution. We infuse our tires with aramid fibers for pothole protection, and we subject our products to Arctic conditions at the largest winter tire test facility in the world. Make safety your first priority. Nokian Tires. First things first. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com.
Clear skies, 43 degrees. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:35. This update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. President Trump now has the green light to deploy National Guard troops in Portland. A federal appeals court ruled the president's decision cannot be reviewed by the courts, though one judge called that absurd and said it's a threat to states' rights and free speech. Meanwhile, D.C.'s Attorney General says the Guard could stay in the Capitol through next summer, and Trump is hinting he might use the Insurrection Act to send troops to San Francisco. The government shutdown now in its third week. Another vote in the Senate failed to end the shutdown yesterday. It was the 11th such vote, Democrats holding firm on a demand to extend health care subsidies for millions of Americans covered through the Affordable Care Act. No votes are scheduled today. Virginia Roberts Giuffre's posthumous memoir is out today. Nobody's Girl, a memoir of surviving abuse and fighting for justice, details how she was groomed as a teenager as a victim of late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and other men. Giuffre completed the book before her death by suicide in April of last year. Sharon Osbourne has announced the death of her dog Elvis. On Sunday, she wrote on Instagram, the Siberian Husky has passed away. It comes about 3 months after the death of her husband, of course, rock legend Ozzy Osbourne. The couple adopted that dog 14 years ago. And the NBA regular season tips off today, I should say. Houston will try to spoil the defending champion Thunder's banner-raising party in Oklahoma City. The nightcap features Golden State, Luka Doncic, and the Lakers against Steph Curry's Warriors in Los Angeles. And it'll be Smitty on NBC, is that correct?
Yep, it's the NBA back on NBC starting tonight, Tuesday nights on NBC/Peacock. Okay. You'll be hearing...
Yeah, that music, they're all going nuts over that music. It's John Tesh.
We're going to make that the new weatherbed.
John Tesh was on NBC last night talking about it. He said, I was just out one day and I had this thing in my head. And he said, I didn't have a paper or anything. So I called my house and left myself a voicemail.
Are you serious?
And they played the voicemail, and it was him doing the and that's how it was born.
Well, it's amazing because we actually have audio of it. Let's go ahead and see if we can play that. Here's the John Tesh voicemail to himself. Smitty?
Here it is. Yeah, that's John Tesh right there, folks. Actual audio.
That was a great impression, buddy.
Yeah, nice.
Here's your forecast from Ray Stagik at the Weather Channel.
Still unsettled for a couple of days with the chilly air continuing to get reinforced here with another front coming in tonight. Maybe a few afternoon showers today. After some morning sunshine, high 65. Tonight, 45. North Country a little cooler with a few showers around. Wednesday, scattered showers and chilly upper 50s. Thursday, a chance of showers with highs in the mid-50s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Clear 43 at 7:38.
All right, so we have $200 on the line. $200 on the line, Davey, from the Hobica Law Firm, and a great, somewhat topical question, I think, for today. Certainly a doable one, and it's worth $200. You're looking for caller number what here, Davey?
5.
Fifth caller right now. We have a great question of 7 seconds to answer. Caller number, what'd you say again? 5. 315-736-0186. Right now, your chance to win from Hobica and WIBX.
Judge Gregory Amoroso, supervising judge of 7 city courts in 5 area counties with over a decade of experience on the bench. Presiding judge of Oneida County's Drug Treatment Court, offering a lifeline to individuals struggling with substance abuse, supporting families.
I'm Judge Greg Amoroso. I've spent my professional career in criminal and civil law as both an attorney and a judge, serving my community, seeking justice. But the most rewarding part of my service has been working outside the norm to tackle substance abuse in our region. By linking those plagued with addiction to needed services while holding them accountable to their legal obligations, we're advancing personal recovery, rebuilding relationships, and empowering individual purpose while reducing future crime. As your Supreme Court Justice, I'll take that same innovative, outside-the-box thinking to challenges before the New York State bench. I ask for your vote.
Paid for by committee to elect Judge Gregory Amoroso. ElectJudgeAmoroso.com.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Some firsts you'd like to leave in the rearview mirror. Other firsts are life-changing. Nokian Tires invented the first all-weather tire 25 years ago to serve as a true year-round driving solution. We infuse our tires with aramid fibers for pothole protection, and we subject our products to Arctic conditions at the largest winter tire test facility in the world. Make safety your first priority. Nokian Tires. First things first. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com.
Every hockey player knows the secret to becoming a great skater is time on the ice. This winter, what if your kids could skate anytime they want, right in your own backyard? With Yard Rink, they can. Order today at yardrink.com and save hundreds by using code RADIO21. Nearly 300 sizes are available, starting at just $9.99. Plus, get 2 puck retention nets and your favorite NHL team logos free. That's YARDRINK.com. And save 21% by using code RADIO21.
Hey, this is Bill Keeler. Join us this Wednesday from 6 till 9 at the Upstate Verona Cancer Center for a live broadcast with the Upstate Mammo Van on site offering screenings for breast cancer. You can also make an appointment for colonoscopies. Schedule breast cancer screening by calling 315-464-2588. It's this Wednesday on the air from 6 till 9 with the Mammo Van on site from 10 till 4 at Upstate Cancer Center with Keeler in the morning and WIBX 950, 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, this morning's question is here in a month where, I don't know, the money's been flowing. The month of October, the money's been flowing pretty well. And I kind of like that. I'm not sure what Hobica feels about that, Mark Butler, but
I think he's happy to be a part of it.
I think you may be right. You may very well be right.
He's a generous man.
It is the free money question of the day. It comes from the Hobica law firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica, at 315-724-1600 is the number. And on our phone lines right now, it's Joe in Utica, ready to take a shot. Hello, Joe. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, this isn't Joe Hobica, is it? Oh, it's not. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Trying to win his own money. All right, here we go. I think this is a good one. I think it's a really, really good one for you. You know the deal. It is 7 seconds. Get an answer in. And if you have to guess, do what you have to do, but get an answer in. Guesses have won before. So here we go. For $200, Leanne McIntyre, Cliff Lewis, and Jerry Stone were each characters on what legendary show? Ready, go. Anybody have an idea on that one?
Seinfeld?
Seinfeld is not the answer. Heather, do you want to guess on that? The characters Leanne McIntyre, Cliff Lewis, and the biggest one would have been Jerry Stone.
I know it now.
What is it?
Matlock.
Matlock. It's Matlock. Yep. Jerry Stone was Ben's assistant. That was the biggest giveaway of the question. Anyway, that was the original Matlock. Now it's there's a female Matlock out there. Okay, we'll give you. I have 4 tickets to the. See how he discounted that? Oh, great! It's a female.
Kathy Bates plays the new Matlock.
She does.
Yeah.
And that show seems to be pretty popular. Okay. We're going to give you, Joe, the all-in-one food and fun card. It's a $25 gift card good at Aquavino or Babes, Taylor and the Cook, at the Comets games, Nexus, Pioneers games, and we'll give you 4 tickets to the Herkimer Craft Fair, November 8th at Herkimer County Community College. Stand by. Davey's going to hook you up, Joe.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. See, he ended up getting it.
Yeah, Bill, I wasn't being dismissive. I was just, I had a flashback. I spoke at a Boy Scout gathering Saturday morning, and there was a troop of young girls, and 3 of them were Eagle Scouts.
So it was a Boy Scouts.
Yeah,
Scouts.
There is no, it's just Scouts.
Scouts.
Now. Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
So I warned them.
Are there Girl Scouts, though? There are still Girl Scouts.
Well,
Boy Scouts are allowing girls to come in.
But I warned the guys. I warned them. I said, the women are taking over the world, guys.
Yeah.
Dead silence. Dead silence.
Yeah. You really offended them.
That was a flashback. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Right.
I thought I was paying them a compliment. I mean, the men haven't done such a good job to this point. Let's give somebody else a shot.
Let's bring in Kathy Bates as Madlock. Get it. In studio right now is Heather Tehan, Public Information Director of the Department of Transportation. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Thanks for having me on.
All right. What are we working on today here? Route 69 Main Street Bridge replacement. In Whitestown. That's one thing.
That's one thing. We have a hearing coming up this Thursday on the project, and we had a public meeting on the project in March, but we only had 20 people attend. And so I thought, okay, this is we need more people to come.
Yeah,
so I'd like everyone to understand, if you're driving through this, if you head to Commercial Drive, you're going to want to know about this project. Because we're not only replacing the two bridges, the bridge over Route 69 that carries Route 69 over the Sequoia Creek, and the bridge that carries Main Street over the Sequoia Creek. But we're also removing two other bridges, including the flyover bridge and the ramp bridge that normally takes you from 69 to Commercial Drive.
Okay.
And we're going to be putting in a roundabout.
So Route 69, if I can, is really what goes straight through Whitesboro.
Correct.
Yeah. And of course, we're helped with the Route 69 Steakhouse. It helps us out a little bit over there to remember that. So
restaurants and bars.
You're talking, if you're on Commercial Drive, you're going to be affected by this.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So, so the hearing is this Thursday. Doors open at 5 for questions. Official hearing presentation at 6. And the public's encouraged to attend. You'll get to see the drawings, the proposed project. Give us your feedback about it.
Okay.
Also that night, though, is the Route 31.
It's the Route 31. All right. So we'll be out on Route 31 tomorrow. But if I can just clarify.
Sure.
So if you're driving towards New Hartford on Commercial Drive.
Yes.
And you pass Voss's, and then there's that large intersection there where you can go straight to 69.
Yes.
Or you can loop around. That is the area that's going to be affected.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That is correct.
That's a biggie.
It is a biggie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a 2-year project. And we're looking at, it's proposed for spring of 27, so it's a ways away. But there are also property acquisitions with this, business acquisitions with this, because we're going to be widening the Sequoia Creek benching this is all about hydraulic flow.
Oh,
so
okay. Is this an attempt to stop flooding over there?
It's an attempt to alleviate some.
Okay.
We can only do so much.
All right. And so you're going to be taking out some properties in this whole thing.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we are. So I believe there's 17 owned properties, 5 active businesses. They have all been contacted at this point, but that information will be at the hearing as well.
Are the businesses on the Commercial Drive side, or
they are on the side? They run along the creek.
Do you have the names of the businesses?
I don't have them with me.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
But all that information will be public at the hearing.
Okay. Joe Tahan's over there in that area. That's not included in the.
No.
That area is, they have a flood wall, I believe, that they put up when it gets really bad. There's something they actually raise that they invested in over there to stop the water from basically just flooding those stores over there.
Sure. Now this is something that we've been looking at for a while, and the engineering of this is really amazing because we're opening up the benching so the water has more places to go.
Okay.
That doesn't affect residents and businesses.
Like that, yeah.
And their transportation system.
And then, of course, on the other side is if you were to keep going, and then
the next bridge is the CSX bridge.
Yeah, and that's a biggie. And then there's a camera on that at all times, which is interesting.
Yes, there's a camera on the Main Street bridge too,
okay.
And so people keep an eye on that and to see what's going on with the flooding. So that's what we're addressing here is the flooding and the what happens on our transportation system. And in order to do that and widen that out, we're going to be putting in this roundabout, multi-use paths. It's going to be a big project.
Oh, so there's going to be a roundabout over there.
Yes.
Okay.
So we want the public's input.
Will the roundabout land you on Commercial Drive? How is that going to work?
Yeah. So
this is big.
It is big. So,
yeah.
So we actually have slip lanes too. So if you're going to say you're coming from Voss's and you're going to go to the school on 69, you're kind of going to avoid the roundabout. You're going to go around the
I
roundabout.
see.
You're going to, in a lane by itself,
Okay.
to the right, you're going to kind of go straight.
All right.
There's also going to be a bypass from Route 69 to Commercial Drive towards the car dealers.
Okay.
Same thing. If you're coming from, if you're just on 5A and you're traveling along, you won't have to jockey like you kind of do now. You got to kind of move over and then move over again and then get back in the right lane. We're going to get rid of all that, and it's going to be a very smooth transition to the next intersection.
And that's where the roundabout will come into play.
Yes, the roundabout will come in there. And then what we also are going to, we see a lot of people walking the median on this area. And so we don't want that. That's not safe. So we're going to be adding sidewalks that connect this whole area.
Okay.
So that's going to be important too. So it's a big project. So if you're interested, if you travel it, you don't have to live in the town of Whitestown to be interested in this project.
Yeah, because it's going to affect a lot of people.
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I do want to give you I think what you guys did over there by the OD, where the OD used to be, and it took out all that grass. And I think I talked about this the last time, but I just was driving over in that area 2 days ago and was looking. It really looks nice there.
Doesn't it look nice?
And
the city put in mums in the planners.
Yeah.
And it really looks beautiful with that porous pavement product.
Looks nice.
Yes.
I think you should do the same thing by Yanandasas, where it doesn't look as nice.
I understand.
Yeah,
yes.
that one's a little rough. But I think that is a great solution. It's hard for whether it be the state or the city to deal with the mowing all the time.
It is mowing, and I know people like to put beautiful flowers and things in the area, but then it's weeding it, and the safety concerns of being in traffic and weeding a flower bed. So this is a better solution.
All right, next is 31. What do you have there?
So let me get this straight here. Okay, so the Herkimer-Oneida County Transportation Council is holding a public open house also on Thursday, also from 5 to 7. But theirs is at the North Utica Community Center.
Yes, that one is the thruway.
Yes, so that's the thruway exit 31.
Oh, when you say 31, it's exit
31,
not
I'm sorry.
Route 31.
Yes, exit 31. So thruway exit 31, and that's going to be to review draft concepts they've come up with based on the input of the public, and also for the public to provide input on what they see.
Have you seen the draft, the proposals?
I have seen a few.
What do you think?
I don't know if I think.
What do you think? Stupid?
There's
no?
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different avenues to take, and it's such an odd configuration as it stands.
It is.
And I know everyone has interest in keeping people. We want the trucks to come off. We want the commercial,
That's the other problem.
traffic.
If we make it so good, nobody ends up visiting those local businesses. Sure. So at the same time, if you're coming off that thruway, and you're not from here, trying to figure out how to get to Rome,
exactly,
or to get to Route 12 is tricky.
Right, and so that's why they're doing the study, and the DOT sponsors the study as well. So we are involved. So that's happening Thursday as well, and then another thing that's happening. Oh, I wanted to talk about this. Last time I was here, you asked me about the Middle Settlement signal.
Yes.
Left turn sign.
Yes.
We are investigating that.
All right, because it's a real issue.
It is.
And I have sat there with usually someone who isn't from here or no longer is because of their age, that's sitting there and not knowing what to do.
Yes.
Where to turn. And it is... But it's a tricky one, too. That's another, because that intersection is so large. It's kind of hard. I was
It's
envisioning.
large. It's skewed.
It is. It's skewed. There's an angle.
So it's not square. So the signage, it looks like it's slipped over.
It does.
So they're going to go out and take a look at it.
So if you're in that one lane where you go straight, it's telling you have to turn if you look at the sign.
If you look at the sign.
But if you local traffic, we know that's how we go straight.
It should be. It's a dedicated left, a
yeah.
straight, and a dedicated right.
All right. I'm glad that you're doing that. That's awesome. While you're over there, could you nudge the people at the car wash? Because that thing has been under construction for quite some time. Are you familiar with that car wash?
I am familiar with that.
That's been going on for a long time.
Well, I can say this. Being familiar with construction projects, sometimes things don't go as well.
And they went, and listen, they went through COVID. There were a lot of things. At one point, I remember, there was a sign that said, if you're interested in investing in this project, call us. So it sounds like, because what happened during COVID, material expenses just they skyrocketed.
Absolutely.
So if you budgeted a certain amount, to be fair with those, Davey, we should get them on the air and let them try to get the owners on the air. I would love to hear. It sounds like they've been through a lot.
Yes.
But if you're,
I'm sure it's an interesting story.
I'm sure it is. If you budgeted a certain amount and then COVID hit, all of a sudden your budget plans were just thrown out the window.
Yeah, we run into this with our projects as well because, here we're looking at a project that's going to happen in spring of 27. What's the price of steel going to be?
Right.
What's the price? We don't know. We have a best estimate and we have a budget.
But you don't know.
We don't know. So,
all right. Well, I can't wait to get you back in after you do the study on the Middle Settlement intersection there. I'm really excited about that. These are three, at least two enormous projects that you're dealing with right now, though.
Yes. So we also have we have paving starting in Clinton today, in the main intersection of 12B and 412, so College Street and Franklin Ave. So it's not shut down. The intersection is not shut down, but we are advising people, if you can, to, especially if you're driving through it, expect delays.
Okay.
And please seek an alternate route if possible, because it's the top course paving. We couldn't do it when it was closed. We paved a little thin layer to get that thing back open so people could drive through it.
But now you're finishing.
Now we're finishing that intersection.
All right.
So
all right. Listen, if you get all frustrated and it's bothering you, just stop into the Rock and have a cocktail. That's an option, right?
Right. I've heard that.
Logical option right there.
Again.
All right. Thank you.
Bars and restaurants.
Bars and restaurants.
He doesn't need a computer to find his way around.
No. Heather Tehan, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. And it gives us a great update on what's going on out there. And going to be interesting. We love delays. So the more we can get, the merrier.
We're happy to please.
Thank you. Sure you are. That's awesome. Listen, people of all ages experience certain levels of discomfort. Mark Butler, some pain in the back and the legs, and
that's right,
and the hips. The Good Feet store, that was a stop you took.
I did.
And they explain how they do it. They walk you in. You have a little walk that you do on this platform, which really is paper, and it's almost like you would do with an ink blot.
Yeah,
and it shows you the arch of your foot.
Yep, and from that they can have these inserts that you put.
There are three of them
on your insole,
and you go through a process: strengtheners, maintainers, and relaxers. You put them right in your regular shoes, or you can get new shoes as well. And it's called the Good Feet store. They do a really pretty thorough job of trying to improve your arch, and that in itself can eliminate the pain. It's the Good Feet store, 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford. Call 315-999-3910. You do not need an appointment to take advantage of it, but you can call ahead if you like. 315-999-3910 for the Good Feet store. Much to get to next hour, including Judge James McCluskey is running for re-election in the Supreme Court and the 5th judicial race. We'll speak with the judge coming up next hour. Also, we'll get more into this Katie Aiello video, the latest one that's out, coming up.
We are here with Tom Giglio from Script Stop Pharmacy, Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, our industry ace. What sets you apart from other pharmacies?
Script Stop Pharmacy, 131 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, New York. We're changing the game. We're a locally owned pharmacy, and we'll treat you like family. With fast, friendly service, no-wait immunizations, and automatic refills, we ensure that you never miss a dose. Pick up the phone and give us a call at 315-790-5300, and you won't have to sit on hold with an automated answering system. You'll be able to actually reach out to a person. You won't have to wait in a long line only to find out that your prescription isn't ready or is not in stock. We offer a wide range of services, including text message alerts when your prescriptions are ready. We have an app that you can manage your medications in, and we offer free delivery across all of Oneida County. And with 75 years of combined pharmacist experience, we're here to serve you quickly, reliably, and with a smile. Need a script? Make the stop, or just call Script Stop.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Celebrating 100 years.
It's now tied for the second longest government shutdown ever. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It's the 21st day, and President Trump will huddle up with Senate Republicans today, having lunch at the White House.
Republicans are united, and I expect the president to say, stand strong. What we're seeing here are the Democrats
practicing the politics of pain.
GOP Senator John Barrasso also tells Fox.
It's the millions of military members, TSA agents, Border Patrol, people who go to work every day, and they're wondering when will they get their next paycheck.
Republicans are pushing legislation to pay those essential workers who keep working while the other federal employees are furloughed and unpaid. Democrats say this is all Republicans' fault for refusing to negotiate on provisions they want to add to a funding bill. One would prevent a looming cut to Obamacare subsidies, which would raise coverage costs for some Americans. Vice President Vance landed in Israel a few hours ago for talks trying to keep the Trump-brokered ceasefire in place in Gaza after weekend fighting. The president says,
we made a deal with Hamas that, they're going to be very good, they're going to behave, they're going to be nice, and if they're not, we're going to go and we're going to eradicate them if we have to.
A deadline President Trump set for colleges and universities to respond to an offer of federal funding with strings attached has passed. 7 of the 9 have rejected it. Brown, Dartmouth, MIT, and USC, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Virginia.
Vanderbilt responded with feedback on the proposal, not saying yes or no. There's no public response yet from the University of Texas at Austin. White House demands include caps on international enrollment, removing factors like sex and ethnicity from admissions consideration, a 5-year freeze on tuition costs, and the wealthiest schools charging no tuition for undergraduate hard science degrees.
Fox's Chris Foster. A man's jailed in Atlanta in what may have been a thwarted mass shooting. Billy Joe Cagle arrested at the airport. His family alerted police. He faces numerous charges.
Terroristic threats, criminal attempt to commit aggravated assaults, possession of a firearm in the commission of a felony.
Atlanta Police Chief Darren Shirebaum, a loaded rifle was found in Cagle's car. America's listening to Fox News.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Guys, fall is here, and so are the all-new styles from Untuck It. We make the world's best untucked shirts, and this season's new arrivals are some of our best yet. From soft-brushed flannels to easy, wrinkle-free cotton, every shirt is designed to keep you sharp and comfortable, whether you're layering up for work, weekends, or nights out. Special discounts for first-time customers, so shop now. Get the new arrivals today at untuckit.com and more than 80 stores. Untuck It, shirts designed to be worn, untucked.
He still can't deploy National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon by a court order still in place, but President Trump is a step closer to it with another appeals court order overturning.
A divided 3-judge panel says President Trump's assessment that federal personnel and property are threatened in Portland is within a range of honest judgment, reversing a lower court ruling that had blocked the deployment of National Guard troops. The Trump administration federalized 200 members of Oregon's National Guard last month to respond to what President Trump described as a siege from Antifa and domestic terrorists. The administration says the National Guard is needed to protect the ICE facility in the city. Earlier this month, a separate appeals court blocked the deployment of National Guard troops to Chicago. That challenge has been appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are now mixed, up a little for the Dow, down a bit for the NASDAQ. The day after a big rally lifted the Dow more than 500 points. The World Series is set, and it will start Friday north of the border.
For the first time since 1993, the Toronto Blue Jays will play in the World Series. Toronto beat Seattle 4-3 in Game 7 of the ALCS and advanced to face the defending champion Dodgers. George Springer played the hero for the Blue Jays, erasing a 2-run deficit with a 3-run blast in the 7th inning that sent the Toronto crowd into a frenzy.
Wild pitch. High fly ball. Left field. Arozarena. Watches it go.
That was courtesy of Fox as Springer's shot to left was the first go-ahead home run in Game 7 history when a team trailed by multiple runs in the 7th inning or later. Joe Morgan, Fox News.
All was not lost for Seattle last night. The Seahawks won on Monday Night Football, beating the Houston Texans 27-19. After an earlier game in Detroit, the Lions topped the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24-9. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We can skip news if you want.
No. We'll
Griffle when I need him.
We'll move on.
Good conversation going on here.
Lenansky, 8:05. Good morning. It's time for news.
Partly cloudy skies, 44 degrees at 8:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. After several days of deliberations, jurors reached a split verdict in the murder trial of 3 former officers at Marcy Correctional Facility. The panel decided to convict David Kingsley for his role in the beating death of inmate Robert Brooks last December. However, his 2 co-defendants, Matthew Gallagher and Nicholas Keefer, were cleared on all charges. Kingsley could be ordered to serve 25 years to life in prison when he's sentenced in December. Meanwhile, in Syracuse, the man accused of carrying out a double homicide is being offered a plea deal. David Huff allegedly killed his own son, 11-year-old Jeremiah, and his girlfriend, 42-year-old Yeraldith Schutte, inside his stepfather's home back in March. Prosecutors giving him a chance to plead guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder in exchange for 40 years to life in prison. If he's convicted at trial, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. He's due to return to court next month. Virginia Roberts Giuffre's posthumous memoir is out today. Nobody's Girl, a memoir of surviving abuse and fighting for justice, details how she was groomed as a teenager as a victim of late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and other men. Giuffre completed the book before her death by suicide in April of last year. The government shutdown now in its 3rd week. Another vote in the Senate failed to end the shutdown yesterday. Democrats holding firm on a demand to extend health care subsidies for millions of Americans covered through the Affordable Care Act. No votes on a continuing resolution are scheduled for today. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:07. Here's a look at your forecast from the Weather Channel.
Still unsettled for a couple of days with the chilly air continuing to get reinforced here with another front coming in tonight. Maybe a few afternoon showers today. After some morning sunshine, high 65. Tonight, 45. North Country a little cooler with a few showers around. Wednesday, scattered showers and chilly upper 50s. Thursday, a chance of showers with highs in the mid-50s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stitch at WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, partly cloudy, 44 at 8:08.
Sorry, I just wanted to add that little sound effect in. Boom. It's sports.
The Toronto Blue Jays headed back to the World Series for the first time in more than 3 decades. George Springer hit a 3-run go-ahead homer in the bottom of the 7th after Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh each went deep for the Mariners, helping them build a 3-1 lead. But the final was 4-3 for the Jays. They now advance to take on the LA Dodgers in the Fall Classic.
When I went to bed, I thought, boy, Seattle is going in. And then, you just never know in baseball what happens in the latter innings. And there goes Toronto to take on a team that's really considered a slouch in Major League Baseball, the lowly Dodgers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They have a chance.
No one has a chance against the Blue Jays.
Well, Bill, not only in the late innings in baseball can it get a little tricky and the game can get away, but don't forget you're talking to a Giants fan, and the fourth quarter
That is true. That is
sometimes
true.
get away from you just a little bit.
That is true.
33 points at a time. Monday Night Football doubleheader last night. The Detroit Lions knocked off the Buccaneers in Game 1, the final 24-9. Jahmyr Gibbs, 218 total yards and a pair of touchdowns. Then the Seahawks held off a late Houston rally, beating the Texans 27-19. It seemed like Houston was 4th and goal for the whole second half. It seemed like they always had the ball, they needed to score, and they couldn't do it. So anyway, they came up short. Week 8 kicks off Thursday night as the Vikings visit the Chargers. On Thursday Night Football, a game you can hear right here on WIBX.
So I have all of these questions that came in a little bit late, and we didn't get them in for Heather Tehan from the DOT. But there are some in here. Do you want to hear what they are?
Yeah,
I mean, it's worthy
sure.
kind of passing these on to her.
Yes.
This is Mike in New Hartford. Why would you put a roundabout makes for more accidents? Put an extra rear of Consumer Square.
I think he meant to put an extra exit
into Consumer. Well, there should be an extra exit at Consumer Square.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that.
But I wonder if that's less of a DOT problem and more of an ownership problem over there.
Right, like the developer instead
Yeah, I
has
don't
to
know
come
the
up with
answer to
that.
that.
That's a good point, Bill. Let me just mention one thing on roundabouts, though. I believe statistically they are safer than intersections, and when accidents occur, because of the angle of the vehicles, they are often, the vast majority of time, considered to be less potentially injurious.
That
to
is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There's no way roundabouts are safer. No way. No, you absolutely right.
Can we get Heather back in here?
You're right. It
Yeah,
is.
they are,
and
right?
When you look at them, you're like, this is chaos. How about the one in Great Britain that is like the world's largest roundabout? Statistically, there are like no accidents in that roundabout, and there must be like 10 lanes.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
It's unbelievable.
It's like watching the inner workings of an old grandfather clock.
Yeah.
The way things are moving and swinging all over the place.
Speaking of grandfathers, when Butler worked at the...
I knew this was coming.
Well, I wanted your opinion on the roundabout. Do you agree?
I think they can overdo it. I think in some instances they're okay. When we were out at West, we were going through a patch of road. There was one every half mile for about 7 or 8 times, and it just was a pain in
How
the
many
neck.
lights
And
did you get stuck at?
I didn't get stuck at any lights.
Because you got a roundabout.
Right.
You just keep going.
And when you're going straight, it's not a bad thing because all you're really doing is swerving to the right and going around, and you fly right. I got to tell you, I like the roundabouts. And he's right. Statistically, they are significantly safer than intersections.
And there is essentially no such thing as a T-bone accident.
Right, because you don't have the person who's driving up and they're thinking about a million things. Stop, almost like you've gone into automation in your, all your memory is kicking in. You're not paying attention. You stop and then you go right in front of traffic. You really don't end up doing that with a roundabout because you're just kind of flowing. How everybody's flowing.
Okay, I have an open mind. You guys have convinced me. I'm all for roundabouts.
Well,
yeah, go.
I don't think they should be at every intersection, but I don't think they're more dangerous than regular intersections.
I understand because I've gone through where you go through a roundabout, you drive a little ways, and then you go through another roundabout. I do understand that. All I'm telling you is, statistically, according to the
statistics
people that do statistics, it's safer.
Rome's got 4. When you go through the base, there's 4 of them.
I don't have any problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. And that's kind of but you're not, the other thing I think it does is it makes you slow down. It really does make you slow down a little bit to go through that.
But there always is the guy that doesn't slow down.
Well, that's me, but still.
Yeah, that's you?
Yeah,
yeah,
it may be me.
Yeah.
I do love going. Sometimes just for fun, I'll just keep going round and round and round. I mean, where am I supposed to get off here? I am completely confused.
That's right after happy hour, right? That this happens.
Because the rule is don't stop in a roundabout. And there are people.
Unless another vehicle is in the roundabout.
Well, you stop
if
before
another
you
vehicle
get
is
in the roundabout.
Coming toward you, then you're supposed to stop.
Okay.
Coming toward you?
Well, they shouldn't go until you've gone by in a roundabout. The person coming in yields to the person in the roundabout.
In the roundabout, yeah. So if someone's in it, you should stop.
Oh yes,
if you're approaching it and someone's in it, you
entering
should
the roundabout. Just don't keep driving.
Yes.
You may not be able to, but I got to tell you, there's the one guy that, or a woman, it could be, that decides while going in the roundabout, they're going to be friendly. Stop in the roundabout and let somebody come in. It's like, no, you're not supposed to. All right, I'll go, but this is not the way it's supposed to work.
You're being too courteous. You're going to cause an accident.
Thank you for that.
Joe in Florida says, Bill, here in Sarasota, they're replacing many stoplights with roundabouts. They seem to be much more efficient and safer for a better flow of traffic.
Yeah, it does seem to flow that way, and I understand.
All right, you've convinced me.
I understand what you're saying.
Let it go.
I'm with you. But it's not me, it's Joe.
These Republicans just don't do roundabouts.
But you could hit a green light and not have to slow down. If you're in a roundabout and somebody's going around and around like Bill does, it might take you 10 minutes to get in there.
Hey, Bill, ask her, and I missed some of these. Easy and Ilian. Ask around and see why they are changing the numbers on the throughway exit, like exit 7 in Syracuse is now exit 91. GPS does not pick them up. I don't know what exit. Where exit 7 must be on the on 81.
Yeah, that's not the thruway. The thruway for Syracuse is all like 36,
34,
36A,
34A through 37. You
You
could say 39, I guess, because that's
they have
Baldwinsville,
6
38,
stops or
39. So, yeah, there's like 6 or 7 exits there. The original roundabout is the Carrier Circle.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, that's been there for years.
That one is big.
That is a biggie. Lance and Lee, as much as you clearly dislike Katie, at least she is using social media to reach the people. Unlike the rest of the council, think about it. Do you ever hear anything from the rest of them?
Well, a couple of them come on the show frequently, but to Lance's point, I do have to say, and I've said this before, and as a matter of fact, I said it to Katie, she is very effective with her videos in conveying the points that she wants to make. She includes photos, videos. I think for local politicians, she is leaps and bounds above. You know, they say like Mamdani, the reason he's so why voters took him so much is because he was such a hit on TikTok in conveying his messages and editing and everything else. And I'm not comparing her to Mamdani at all. I'm just saying I think there's evidence that political folks who are very savvy at this do well. They connect with the voters.
It used to be when in a political campaign somebody'd say, well, I think you should use Facebook or one of the other ones. And they'd be like, don't waste your money on that. Well, Obama really was the one to change that. And it is probably used 500% more today than it ever was even during Obama. So it is effective. It does work.
I still believe getting highly paid consultants and ad people to do your groundwork for you is a way to go.
I recommend Bill Keeler.
I was never highly paid by the Butler campaign, but yes,
it's a trade agreement.
I did do the Butler.
That was
campaign.
the highly paid part of it.
Okay. And then, the only thing I'd say to Lance and Lee is I do not dislike Katie Aiello. I love having her come on. I think she stirs things up. I think she's a good interview. Whether she answers your question or not, she sits there and takes it. This whole move where she's not coming on because she's mad at me, I think is foolish, and I regret that. I wish that she wasn't, because while I don't necessarily agree with her on a lot of things, I love talking to people I disagree with. I mean, look, we got Mark.
Thank you.
We got Mark in
Thank you.
All right, Bill. This is Joe here in Sarasota. He's listening now. I bought gas for $2.67 a gallon. On the ride down, I saw gas as low as $2.41 a gallon. Yeah, that is pretty awesome. And unfortunately, that you're not going to find in New York unless there's a gas battle because of the taxes.
I went to the Stewart's in Herkimer yesterday, $2.88 if you pay cash, which I thought was a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, if you're finding under $3 around here, that is a good deal.
That's big.
Yeah.
And when I say unless there's a gas battle, it's like 2 convenience stores going at it.
Which has been going on in Ilion.
Here's a few more. This is off YouTube. John says, of course, the court can't stop it. Wartime president. Okay. Well, I think there are a lot of people out there that disagree with you on that, John, but okay. Timothy Toolman, is Mark Butler a certified bachelor? The answer to that is no. He's certified married.
No, I'm an amateur bachelor.
He must be awful bored to keep coming back to this crap every Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Well, we have an announcement to make about that.
Steven says, has there been any accidents at the OD building at that roundabout? And accidents on the one near College Place on Genesee Street? I'm sure there have been, but all I can tell you is every once in a while you get people inside these roundabouts that don't know what they're doing.
Yes, they don't understand.
That probably can. All right, what's your announcement, Butler?
Well, I came in this morning and Jeff is sitting in my seat. And I say, what's going on? And Bill, you very gently said, you're out. He's in. Because he works cheaper. I understand. I busted my tail over these past several weeks to boost your ratings, and that's the things I get. I get the boot right out the door.
You have admitted that the tail was busted just getting out of bed. I mean, that'll bust a tail like like nothing.
Well, I think I'm going to do some PR for KDILO.
We do appreciate you coming in, and you're always welcome. That's all I'm saying.
Well, thank you, Bill.
All right,
I've
Davey,
enjoyed it.
I'm going to break right after I take Mike and Skyler. Mike, I have 30 seconds.
You know, Mark, nobody wants you to go but you.
You're here. Good morning.
No, good. I'll just make it quick. I couldn't be more happy that the Blue Jays won last night because really, Manly is now going to be going to the World Series, and that's special because he spent his whole career with the Yankees as a player.
Yeah.
And the only chance that he got to be the World Series, the Mariners stopped him 30 years ago. And as a player, that's something else.
You know what I would say that Vegas has got to be looking at this like, what do you think? 4, 5 games the series goes?
Dodgers.
5. I mean, and you got to be thinking that's where everybody's going. And you know what? Whenever you think something's a sure bet,
right,
it never
never
is.
know.
Don't count out the Blue Jays.
Well, I know a guy that can sort out all those odds.
You do.
I don't want to name names,
do.
but
all right, you do.
I do.
All right, Mike. Final word. Go ahead.
And one thing, think about this: like the Red Sox, they had a lot of players in there, like Ted Williams. Never won a World Series, but he played in a World Series.
Yeah.
The '86 Mets and the Red Sox, Jim Rice, Dwight Evans, they played their whole life, but they got to one. They got to try, and they lost against the Mets. And then he retired the next year. In 2008, Girardi got the job. He actually interviewed for that job, and he just mismanaged the Yankees.
Right.
Now it's like I'm just glad that he's there. And
I see what you're saying. So even if the Blue Jays don't go all the way, just being in the World Series is a big deal. I agree with that.
And Mickey Mantle's birthday was yesterday too.
All right,
and that's something.
Well, I just say don't count out the Blue Jays. Although I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
To me, all it takes is one game. If they win one game, then that shows that they can win a game, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They got to get one.
All right. Okay.
He mentioned Jim Rice.
Mike. Thank you, man.
In the '86 Red Sox. Just think of how few professional athletes, baseball players, can say, I would have reached baseball immortality had it not been for those pesky Mets. There's very few ball players who can say
they can say that. Yes. Listen, it's Bath Makeover Month in New York Sash, and now's the time to finally get the bathroom you've been dreaming of. All bath projects are 20% off with special financing available. Upgrading your bathroom has never been easier. Stop into the New York Sash showroom at 349 Oriskany Boulevard, Whitesboro, where you can see over a dozen beautiful baths on display, styles, colors, and options for your home. New York Sash has over 850 Google reviews for their expert installation and top quality service. Check them out. Don't wait. The Bath Makeover Month is underway this month. Time to save 20% and get started at NewYorkSash.com or stop by New York Sash, Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and servicing Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
Adirondack Home Furniture wants you to fall in love with your home again. With their timeless design and incredible craftsmanship, their furniture is the type of furniture that gets passed down from generation to generation. For years, Adirondack Home Furniture has been providing quality and comfort to Central New York. From American-made pieces and new Amish pieces to top designers, Adirondack Home Furniture has what you want. Whether you're looking to redo your living room, dining room, bedroom, kids' rooms, or just need some pieces to get your home ready for the holidays, Adirondack Home Furniture has that perfect piece. With a fully stocked showroom and the best prices of the season, you need to stop in today. Adirondack Home Furniture has non-commissioned salespeople, which means you enjoy a relaxing, low-pressure shopping experience. They also pride themselves on their unmatched customer service and attention to detail. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and get your home ready for the holidays. Riverside Center in North Utica, or go to AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Some firsts you'd like to leave in the rearview mirror. Other firsts are life-changing. Nokian Tires invented the first all-weather tire 25 years ago to serve as a true year-round driving solution. We infuse our tires with aramid fibers for pothole protection, and we subject our products to Arctic conditions at the largest winter tire test facility in the world. Make safety your first priority. Nokian Tires, first things first. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
We called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
they came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, good morning, and boy, Lance is just all over me today. And every day, apparently. You sure use that mute button a lot lately. Clearly, you must hate people with differing opinions.
He does. You're right, Lance.
Hold on, keep talking. Just keep talking so I can shut you off.
Yeah.
There you go.
There
Now
goes a
you're
mute.
There goes the mute. It's not really a mute button. I don't have a mute button. It's just either turn someone down or be the view. And apparently Lance is a big fan of The View, where everybody's talking at the same time and nobody can understand what anybody's saying. It is...
I think that's a good thing.
It is my... Maybe it's good that you can't understand it. It is my view that sometimes you gotta pull you have to pull a mic down. It's just how I've done it. No, I would never do it to a judicial candidate. In studio right now is Judge James McCloskey, running for re-election, the Supreme Court judge in the 5th Judicial District. And Judge, Your Honor, good morning.
Good morning.
So talk about the court, if you could, and all of what you see in this court.
Well, the cases we hear, and it's New York State, so of course New York State has it backwards. Most states, Supreme Court is the top court in the state.
Yeah.
That's not the way in New York and has been for over 200 years.
You know, I'm glad you brought this up because I've always wondered why when you hear Supreme Court, especially if you talk to somebody from out of state, they immediately are like, oh, it made it to the Supreme Court in New York. Doesn't mean the same thing. And why did we get on that road, I wonder? Supreme is a pretty interesting, Supreme is the perfect definition for the Supreme Court.
When it was set up initially over 200 years ago, Supreme meant Supreme that could handle any type of matter.
I see.
So in New York State, Supreme Court is the court of general jurisdiction. Most states call it a district court. So we will hear cases that deal with, I have a medical malpractice trial going on right here in Oneida County this week. Divorces.
That's a big one, too. If I don't know what your case is, but I know there's a couple of biggies that are out there right now.
Divorces, land disputes, contract disputes, business disputes, name changes. The way it's set up, we could hear anything. New York State legislature then sets up things like county court hears felonies. So upstate New York Supreme Court doesn't hear felonies.
Yeah.
If it's under $3,000, you could go in town court. So if you could go to town court, you don't go to Supreme Court.
I see. It is quite interesting. You also get divorces as well at Supreme Court level.
Divorces, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that your life, and you look at America right now and how we are just, there's so much dissension. It seems that we are divided so narrowly down the middle that everybody's arguing about everything. That might not look all that abnormal to you, considering you're in a court where you see this every day. Just when you think everybody's getting along, comes the Supreme Court and people don't.
Well, like you brought up divorces, and in a divorce case, generally you see two good people at their worst.
Yeah.
And the dissension in the United States at this time, I think it's a good example of what a judge has to be, though. He has to look at both sides, see the value of each side, and decide what is right. He can't take a partisan approach.
So I will add he or she just before we all get yelled at for that. But go ahead.
Do you do child custody cases?
Only when it's associated with a divorce.
Oh, okay.
If it's just custody and visitation, again, New York State, the legislature set up family court, and they could only hear what the legislature tells them they can hear. And it'd be custody, visitation, family offense, neglect, and abuse cases.
And would you agree that in any of these cases of divorce or what have you, where there's a relationship disagreement, and even any case in general, if you can cut a deal before you get into the proceeding, you're probably better off?
I think so. I think if the parties could work out a resolution, there's a value of having input in the disposition. And it's not just divorce; it's any type of case.
Probably everything. Yeah. And why you versus someone else? There are, I believe, 8 candidates running for 4 seats here.
Correct. There's 8 candidates, 4 seats. I do have 14 years experience on the bench. As Supreme Court judge, I was a judge for 9 years before that as a town court. And I was practicing law for 23 years in a small town practice. I started with my father and twin brother until my father passed.
Where was that?
In Adams, New York.
Okay, all right.
So the fifth district, New York State Supreme Court set up in districts. 5th district is made up of 6 counties: Jefferson, Lewis, Oneida, Herkimer, Oswego, and Onondaga. We could get assigned anywhere. We generally will hear cases in our home county, in Jefferson County. That's where most of my cases are.
Okay.
For the last 3 years, I've been put on the wheel. That means I get assigned cases at random here in Utica. They needed some extra help down here, so they sent me down to do some cases. I'm the asbestos judge in the district, so actually I have cases in every single county in the district.
Okay. Asbestos judge, what is that?
It's the judge assigned to asbestos cases. If they put one judge in the whole district, we have about 50, 60 cases. So they see value in having one judge do it, so you have consistency in rulings on discovery and things like that.
I'm assuming you have to have a certain knowledge of the asbestos world, I would think, in order to, it would give you somewhat of a slight advantage if you are considered the judge who handles those cases.
I didn't when I started have any knowledge. And as a Supreme Court judge, you have to be willing to learn laws that in fields of study that you would not have done as a private practitioner.
Right.
As a small town practice, we did a lot of different things. I didn't specialize in any one area, but there was things somebody would come in and say, geez, can you do this for me? And I would say no.
Did you ever have Billy Fusillo come to you and say, I want you to represent me? Because isn't that where he started, in Adams, New York? I'm pretty sure.
The first 2 car dealerships he bought were both in Adams, New York.
Yeah.
And I represented the 2 sellers.
You did. Okay. So I had a feeling you had to, if you're from Adams, you had to be involved with it.
He was an impressive man. When he first got into it, he was young, and he was buying the Ford dealership in Adams, and he came in at the time of the closing, and there are a couple of things were changed since when he signed it, small things that the average person would not have picked up on. But he was very astute, picked up on it, and started screaming at the guy, "No, you're not going to screw me like that."
Wow. So he was who you saw on TV, kind of.
Yeah, bigger than life.
Bigger than life, yeah.
And very smart. I mean, knew the business very well.
And when he was done, I think he had dealerships out west as well. He was
in Florida.
He was all over.
Yeah,
Nevada,
Vegas. He liked gambling, so he put a car dealership there.
Of course, because that's cash flow right there. So, and how do you gamble without cash flow, Mark?
I had a question. When you're put on the wheel, how is the determination made on where you would go and preside as a judge? How is that determined?
In Jefferson County, we have 2 Supreme Court judges who call that home base.
Okay.
So our wheel is I get 50% of the divorces, 50% of the medical malpractice cases, and like that.
Okay.
In Utica, they have more judges, so it's a little different. So I might get 20% of this, 20% of that.
Okay. All right.
And, of course, Utica has something only Oneida County has Article 10 cases, which are prisoners who are getting out of prison and they want to civilly confine them because they were charged with sex crimes originally.
Okay. But is there some agency that oversees all that? Or
the court system.
The court system.
So our clerks, we have an administrative judge who assigns the judges to different counties.
Okay.
And the clerks are told, all right, this is how you're going to assign the case, and they just put it in the system, and it comes out that way now.
All right.
By the way, it's still in my mind. I'm thinking about being a fly on the wall when Billy Fusillo came in, and you didn't have to be a fly on the wall. You were
I was
literally just that. So, and then on the sex cases in Utica, why is Utica unique in that?
Because there's 2 places in New York State that if you are being held in civil confinement, one is in
So we house
Marcy,
those people.
And one is in
Marcy,
one is in St. Lawrence.
Right. That's why if you look on there's a map that you can look at and that shows you the number of registered sex offenders, and Marcy is a hot number. It's bigger than everywhere else. That is I just want to touch on that for a minute before we let you go, and it's interesting because you have to look at these things differently than the rest of the public looks at them. For the general public, it's like they've done something terrible to a child. They have no worth, no value. The court, the country, we look at the Constitution. They have rights as they've done their time. There may be stipulations. You have to look at it much differently than with emotion, I would assume.
Right. We have to follow the law.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, anytime you're taking away somebody's rights, as a judge, you have to question it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times sitting there, well, they're there because they did something really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then why didn't you sentence them to 20 years instead of 10 years? Then we wouldn't be dealing with this now.
Right.
And if you think they're bad enough that they should be held longer, maybe you should look at it up front instead of afterwards.
Yeah. Very interesting way of looking at that. And I think it's a big problem. That's a legislative problem in New York. Many believe that some of these crimes, the penalty that comes along with the crime just doesn't seem to add up. Interesting. Anything else you want to add before we let you go?
Election is November 4th. You do have there's 8 candidates, 4 positions. So that means you have 4 votes. And even though most of the candidates are not from Oneida County, the Oneida County voters have a interest in the outcome because you never know where that judge is going to end up. So I just encourage everyone to vote. Make sure you use all 4 votes. It's important.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck, Judge James McCluskey. Thank you.
Good luck.
Love the Billy Fusillo story. Got a break. It's 8:39. Coming up, the trial. Speaking of courtrooms, yesterday the verdict came out in the case of the corrections officers. Interesting. Did you find it, I don't know if you can answer this, but I'll ask anyway because we have you here. Is it unique to try all 3 at once? So all 3 COs were tried in the same trial. Is that unique?
If they're charged with the same type crime, it's not unique.
Okay.
And I know one person is scheduled for trial later.
Yes.
So that would mean there was something in his case
It's different. Oh,
different.
okay.
Couldn't be brought in this case, or something being used in this case couldn't be brought in his case.
Interesting. And then would you say it's unique that one is found guilty, two is found not guilty? Two are found not guilty.
I don't know about unique. And again, the only thing I know about the case is what I followed in the paper.
Yeah.
And I did read an article yesterday saying that the one who was convicted is the one who had his hands around his throat.
Yeah.
So that,
yeah.
And he was asphyxiated, so that might be what was in the
I
juror's
see.
mind.
Interesting. What a traumatic case.
Yes.
No doubt. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. Quick break, and we'll speak with the reporter. Sean Mills is with the Daily Sentinel, and thank you, sir. Thanks so much. And was at the trial. He never missed a minute of the trial, I guess is what I'm trying to say. He was there through the whole thing, and I thought his comments the other day were very interesting. Kind of hinted that there were two that were pleading their case pretty strongly, and in some cases I feel like he felt effectively that they should not be treated in the same way that the one who was found guilty was ultimately treated. It seems like the jury agreed. We'll talk with him coming up next on the trial from yesterday at WIBX.
To honor and give thanks to our military first responders and their families, the Good News Center is hosting the Flags for Heroes event from November 4th to the 11th. Along the Memorial Parkway, 1,000 American flags will be on display to salute the men and women who sacrifice on our behalf. Your family, business, or community group can sponsor a flag with proceeds benefiting Citron's military program. The program is designed to treat veterans and service members experiencing physical, emotional, and cognitive issues. This is our opportunity to show appreciation to the brave men and women who serve or who have served. Be counted as one of the grateful. Thank you for support from Utica National Insurance Group and Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas. For more information or to sponsor a flag or volunteer, visit the Flags for Heroes page on the Good News Center's website.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Still unsettled for a couple of days with the chilly air, continuing to get reinforced here with another front coming in tonight. Maybe a few afternoon showers today. After some morning sunshine, high 65. Tonight, 45. North Country a little cooler with a few showers around. Wednesday, scattered showers and chilly upper 50s. Thursday, a chance of showers with highs in the mid-50s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stitch at WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We have mostly sunny skies. It is 45 at WIBX.
This is Keeler in the morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
All right, a couple of comments from YouTube here this morning. Let's see. Is Mark Butler a certified bachelor? He must be awful bored to keep coming back to this crap. Has there been any accidents near the OD? I already got to that one. Steve Colenso. Have there been any? I haven't noticed any. But how would we notice if there were accidents by the OD on a roundabout?
I mean, I'm sure there have been.
Mark Butler wearing knee pads for Trump. Okay.
Is that what that says?
That's Welter Skelter.
Welter Skelter.
Steve Colenso. Bill, are you going through your second puberty? Your voice keeps cracking. LOL. We call that cancer medicine. That's what it does to my voice. It could be worse. I'm really lucky that I don't have that problem. Tony Baloney says must be his 15th COVID shot. Okay there, Tony Baloney. You want to add to that?
Whose 15th COVID shot? Yours?
Mine, apparently. Yeah. Well, I think if I had 15, I'd be dead, wouldn't I? Based on some people's belief.
Yeah, I guess so.
Can't survive those COVID shots. Do you get your, do you do a COVID shot, Mark Butler?
I haven't in a couple of years.
Yeah, I haven't either, to be honest.
But I do want to get a RSV or whatever that is. I think
RSVP?
Yeah.
Yeah, because,
Thank you
we want to know if you're
much.
coming.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think those are important shots to get.
Yeah. Well, I actually went to the Walgreens and signed up, and they said it'll be a few minutes. I sat there about 45 minutes.
We were talking about that the other
I'm
day.
a very busy guy.
The Walgreens wait is just.
And by the way, I have
right
to
now.
do a shout out to my friends at the Walgreens in Herkimer. Luann and the girls, they take good care of me.
Is Luann still over there? Wow.
Yeah, she's
wonderful.
Well, she makes taking your medicine with a lump of sugar. It's just
she's been to. I think she was at Rite Aid, if I recall, back before Walgreens was down there. So, yes.
Aren't you going to lose your extreme liberal card carrying card there if you don't get a COVID shot? I don't know. I'm trying to think of what Lance would say.
Yeah. Well, just hold on. He'll probably say it in a second.
He will
you can just
never lose his liberal card carrying.
Oh, my Lord Almighty, you're nuts.
Never.
I want to go to Matt Karkner. Listen, you don't know what liberal is because versus conservative, and you don't know what conservative is. You're MAGA. You're no longer conservative. There's a very big difference between the two. Conservatives are people like George Will, who no longer participates because he can't participate in the MAGA world.
What makes me MAGA?
I'm just saying. From you, Mark. Sorry. Take it how you want. Say what you want. I'm just telling you like it is.
It's self-identification. Do you?
Let's go.
Conservative.
Matt Karkner. We'll go over the. There's actually a question and answer quiz you can take whether you're MAGA or conservative, and I can guarantee you, knowing the questions, it's not going to look good for you. Matt Karkner is a first-year assistant coach with the Utica Comets. On the line right now. Matt, good morning. Rescue us. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, guys?
Good. All right. So, listen, what do you say to the fans who are a little slightly worried? We don't want to get off to the same start as last year. I feel like it is a completely different vibe. But we're still we're still struggling to start the year. What do you say to fans?
Yeah, no, it's going to take a little bit of time, and so far the games have been very competitive. Obviously, the results are not there right now. We're finding ways to lose games, which is the biggest thing we're trying to work on right now. It's to teach a winning mentality in key situations and in moments in games, and we're very close to breaking through that barrier. It just takes a little bit of time, and they've gone through a lot of these learning lessons that, quite frankly, we're kind of done with. We want to make sure we take those steps now to win and create that winning culture.
Okay, thank you, Davey. Listen, where are you from? A little background. Where are you from? Where'd you come from? And what do you think of Utica?
Yeah, no, I'm from Winchester, Ontario originally, just a little bit north of here, and born and raised there, played hockey, all in the CHL and been all over the place since then. San Jose, New York Islanders, Ottawa Senators, coached in Bridgeport with the Islanders a few years ago, and the last few years I've been in Orlando, being the head coach and general manager of the Orlando Solar Bears. But yeah, coming here to Utica, it's been awesome. Just getting to know the staff and working with New Jersey and Sheldon Keefe and them being so open and welcoming and sharing all their advice and systems and structure. And, they want it to be successful here for us as well. So they understand what goes into it. Yeah. So that's been really good, getting to know the players and building the team here into kind of what we want them to be, their identity. It's a process, but it's been good. A lot of good people here, a lot of good players. Obviously, the ownership here with Rob Ash, he's one of a kind and really wants this team to succeed.
I do have to say I was up near the northern border a few years back and enjoying this awesome ice cream place, a chocolate ice cream cone, not realizing that a little drip had fallen on my shirt. And this French Canadian came by and said to me, "Cochon." And I gave him the thumbs up. I thought he was saying that looks good. Little did I know, my wife informed me, he just called you a pig.
Yes.
So, yeah. Well, it is what it is, right?
It's sad that all your stories revolve around eating and drinking.
It's all eating and drinking. Yes. How do you? What do you do? I mean, you work with a lot of the defensemen on the team. Can you talk about that and give us a little background on your playing career?
Yeah, no, I've been working with the D and penalty kill, which has found its recent struggles. But the D, great kids, a lot of good potential, a lot of good prospects here. I think we'll see a few more here shortly. There's actually, I think, 8 injuries in New Jersey, which obviously affects our team. So, we should be getting some more looks at some different people. But yeah, it's been great. They're all hungry to learn and they want to win here, so that's good. But it's been fun. My playing career, I played, parts of 7 years in the NHL with Ottawa Senators for 3, New York Islanders for 3, and then San Jose just a little bit there. But all through the minors, Cleveland Barons when they existed back 2001 to 2006. Went to Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, and from there Binghamton Senators, then all through the NHL. And then my last stop was in Bridgeport with the Islanders as a player coach, and that got me into coaching.
Nice. Well, listen, we welcome you. Hope you enjoy your time here, and look forward to a great season for the Comets.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Matt. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
That's Matt Karkner, and the Comets are home on Saturday at the Adirondack Bank Center.
The hockey ice is the only place where right wingers and left wingers can come together
that is
and
true.
work toward a common goal.
Mike asked this morning, ask Mark, who will Trump choose to win the World Series? Toronto is in Canada. L.A. is in Newsom country. Which does he choose? That's going to be a tough
America.
one. That's going to be, well, I guess you'd have to go with
L.A. is representing our
Dodgers.
great nation.
Let me bring in Sean Mills. He is a reporter with the Daily Sentinel and was covering the trial, the corrections officer trial that has been going on. And, of course, yesterday we all know that a verdict came back. 1 guilty, 2 not guilty. And I kind of feel like on this program last week, Sean, you called it.
Last week, I wasn't sure what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But this is not what I would have predicted, frankly.
You did raise the, clearly you were there, and the attorneys for the 2 who were found not guilty were basically trying to present the case that their COs were not as involved, and they were just basically doing their job. And the jury seemed to, they bought that.
Yeah.
And believe that, I should say.
Very clearly, the 3 guys all had different levels of participation in this attack, and those 2 guys were far less than the one that was convicted. To the extent I was open to the idea the jury might let them slide on the murder, but I didn't think a jury would let them slide on even the minor charges.
Yeah. There were charges beyond manslaughter as well. So Gallagher, Keefer, both acquitted. I believe there were for Keefer, I believe there were like 3 or 4 charges, but the jury said not guilty. So you were as surprised as everybody else was. What was the reaction inside the courtroom? I was watching the playback on KTV, and it seemed like there was a great deal of silence. Everybody was kind of holding their breath.
Absolutely. And then once the verdicts were read, Kingsley, the man who was convicted, he had family in the audience, and they, of course, didn't take it well. And then Keefer has always had a large contingent of family and friends in the courtroom, and they were gasping every time, and gasping and crying with tears of relief once he was fully cleared. So, when the verdict always comes in, it's always a tense moment. Emotions are high, and then, of course, the verdict is read, and usually people involved have some family and supporters there, and their reaction goes based on what the answer they get is.
Do we have any idea on Kingsley? He was found guilty, second-degree murder, and guilty of first-degree manslaughter. A couple of questions on that. Do we have any idea what, had he pleaded guilty, what his sentence would have been?
We were told in the past, I don't remember off the top of my head, but the other men who were charged with the attack, they all took
guilty pleas to manslaughter and got 22 years flat in prison, no life.
Okay, no life.
So he
he
would have gotten 22.
Yeah, so the gamble is a lot of us were asking, why would you take that? And you're in that position. He was clearly one of the lead COs in what ultimately ended up in the death of Brooks. A lot of people wondered, why would you take that gamble?
Yeah, it was a big gamble for all three of them, frankly.
Yeah, it really was.
The two guys that got off were also charged with murder, and had the jury found them guilty, they were offered far, far less in plea deals, but according to their attorneys, they were determined not to plead guilty to something they didn't think they did, and that gamble paid off, but Kingsley, it did not.
Yeah. I know Manaski had asked earlier on Kingsley, how is it that Kingsley was found guilty of murder and manslaughter?
That's a question for an attorney. I don't know that, but he was charged with both and found guilty of both. I'm sure his defense attorneys argued, various attorneys argued, they have different levels of intention behind them, but the prosecutor went with both and the grand jury did both. So the difference between the two and why they shouldn't go together or why they should go together is more of a question for an attorney, I'm afraid.
Were you able to speak to any of those on trial, any of the jurors after the trial yesterday?
No. After a verdict, everyone kind of just clears out, and the jury they're very, very protective of juries in court. They roped off the hallway there in the courtroom so that the media couldn't go get the jury before they got in the elevator, and they let them out to like a back door of the building. I think some reporters ran down to catch them at the back door, but I stayed up and talked to the attorneys and tried to talk to the two men that were acquitted.
I'm assuming that a verdict like this one was, everybody was holding their breath, including the attorneys.
Oh, absolutely. The attorneys are as confident in what they've done and in their case as anyone can be, and ultimately, I'm sure, as I've learned in my few years covering trials as a reporter, there's no telling which way a jury's going to go. So I assume these experienced attorneys have no idea really how to predict what's going to happen.
And during the trial, was it a jury that was riveted at they were at the edge of their seats, or was it a jury that was kind of lost in some of the testimony?
In my experience, juries are hard to read. They're honestly just a group of ordinary people just kind of sitting there watching and paying as much attention as you would expect. So I've never been able to judge a jury to see what their reaction is. It's always just they always seem to be paying attention, and then it comes out in the end.
And then I'm sure you've heard some of the criticism that started with the governor yesterday on her disappointment of the verdict. Ultimately, though, we should respect the jury. They're the ones that sat through this. They're the ones that were able to ask questions and have answers brought back to them if they did that. But I would think if I'm a juror, I would be just a little bit worried in that there are a lot of people out there that disagree with their two not guilty verdicts.
Yeah, most likely. That's why so much effort is taken to protect the jurors. We in the media are instructed routinely, no pictures of the jurors, no printing names of the jurors, and obviously I respect that completely. I have no interest in doxing these people. But again, they're well protected, and they were the ones that heard the evidence and made their decision, and that's how the system works.
All right. Listen, Sean, we appreciate your time here on this and coming on the air with us. We thank you so much.
Always happy to provide some insight.
All right. Have a great day, and you can read all about it in the Daily Sentinel with Sean Mills and all of the other stories you'll find there. Sean, thanks. Have a great day.
Thanks for having me.
I want to tell you, Steve Pawnee Mazda, Ricky Z says, come on in. Our treatment after being in a collision with a deer recently has been spectacular. There's a Mazda lease, 2.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, 5s, 1.9% APR on 2025 Mazda CX-50s, 70s, and 90s. And come in and see the dealership where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Mark, thank you. We have news coming up.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
Trying to keep the Trump-brokered deal for Gaza from falling apart. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Vice President Vance has gone to Israel the day after the president said,
"We have a peace in the Middle East for the first time ever."
But he warned Hamas about violating the ceasefire after flare-up and fighting over the weekend that was deadly for Israelis and Palestinians.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said Hamas will be disarmed the easy way by giving up its weapons or the hard way by Israeli forces. Netanyahu says he and Vice President Vance will discuss security challenges and diplomatic opportunities during their visit. Negotiators are looking to move beyond the first phase of the ceasefire. That's where Hamas returned the hostages and Israeli forces pulled back from their positions in Gaza.
Fox's Rich Edson at the White House. Hamas still has only handed over 13 bodies of the 28 dead hostages it's supposed to return. President Trump will have lunch today with Senate Republicans on day 21 of the government shutdown that House Speaker Mike Johnson blames on Democrats.
Because they're playing partisan games.
The speaker just told Fox Business instead of agreeing to a simple funding extension,
they want to spend $1.5 trillion new dollars